All right, all right. What's going on? Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to everyone, man. Thank you for stopping by. I got a bit of it might be an issue. Uh, as you guys know, I always do streams with other people, to join the stream. But lately, when I'm on StreamYard for whatever reason, whatever device I use, um, I got to use. Well, I only use two, which is my iPad or my cell phone. I always got to wear my I always got to wear my AirPods, right? But to hear the guests, they can hear me, but I have a hard time hearing them. I think I did a little adjustment to fix that. I'm hoping it's not going to give me any issues hearing um, anybody that joins the panel. But yeah, I left my iPad, my AirPods somewhere. I know where it's at. I just don't want to, at this time, go all the way over there to go pick them up. So I'm gonna try to do the stream um, without the AirPods, and hopefully I can hear anybody that jumps on the panel just fine. Um, like I said, I think I made an adjustment on my phone. I'm hoping that's all I had to do, and basically that'll do the trick, so I can hear them fine without it, like I used to. Um, I downloaded some fucking one of these updates that they send to your phone, and ever since then, I can't fucking hear. They can hear me, like I said, without the AirPods, but I have a hard time hearing them. Anyway, now that I said that, let me say what's up to the chat real quick. Okay, Adrian Alex Poe. He says, I like Smith Jr., but he will die against Beterbiev. I mean, I think he will lose. Yeah. I think it'll be a good fight, though. Salute to my brother Ant, my boy Durden. Salute, salute. L Dogs. I like Smith Jr. for the upset. Okay. Usaka Fury. Beterbiev will curb stomp your boy from Long Island. Yeah, maybe. I'll pick him to win. I think that I'll pick Beterbiev to beat him, and I think he'll even stop him. And I think it'll be a pretty bad beatdown. But I still like that fight to happen. I hope the fight happens. It seems like it's being close to being, to getting both guys to sign. I do believe Joe Smith Jr. wants a little extra money than they're offering. It's not by much. I think they offered Joe Smith 1.5 million and he wants something like 1.8, right? So a little short by 300,000. I'm sure if they really want to have this fight, if Joe Smith Jr. really wants to have this fight, they could work something out. Salute to Super Anderson. Aldo, Beterbiev should win, but he must be 100% aware of when Joe throws his shots. He can't get hit same amount versus Joe as he was during the Brown fight. I agree. I agree with that. That's a very good point. Your boy Jack Wes is here, says Beterbiev by legalized homicide. Damn, people that are picking, and I'm with you to an extent, right? I'm with you on it. The people that are picking Beterbiev to win, they just think it's going to be a brutal beatdown. I'm starting to think the same thing too. Monkey Kung Fu, salute, brother. Beterbiev dismantle Smith. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Um, so salute to everybody in the chat, man. Durden says, I'm Joe Smith, faithful till I die. Salute, man. I like the dude. I definitely do, man. He's a guy that if he pulls off the upset, I'll be happy for him. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but he's a hard guy in a way. Sometimes he gets caught up in the. He says some things that I don't know if he really feels that way. When he fought Glassov, he clearly lost that fight. In my opinion, I thought he lost like at least 8-4, if not even by more. I don't remember. I seen that fight maybe once. I seen it the one time it happened, and that was it. Um, I like his whole backstory. A guy who's working and boxing at the same time. He's like a blue collar worker. So, kind of like to see him in this position. Obviously, we know him for knocking out Bernard Hopkins. And he got a decent win after that too, by knocking out Alvarez. And he fought Bivol, got totally outboxed. So he's shown a lot of vulnerable spots where he can be. We haven't seen him get knocked out, but then again, he hasn't fought a big puncher like Beterbieve. Bivol's a sharp puncher, but he's comfortable with outboxing you. Where Beterbiev, he's always looking for the stoppage, and he's pretty methodical, knows how to do it. He knows how to go about it, and I think that with Smith Jr. being wide open, yeah, that's kind of a recipe for disaster, And he's tough, and he's a tough dude too. He don't mind going through it. He'll go through it. He'll let you beat the shit out of him and try to land a big punch, but that could be to his detriment. And I think that's more likely what's going to happen. I hope the fight happens. Let's hope it gets finalized. All right, so without further ado, I'm definitely gonna drop the link in the chat. Like I said, man, I hope I could hear you guys fine, man. We're about to find out. That's the link, bro, for those who want to jump on. And we could talk about this fight, any other fight coming up. Anything boxing related and other stuff, respectfully. Yeah, so come on and give your opinions. I'm not into blocking people yet, but so you might as well take advantage and just jump on. And like I said, man, give your opinions. Tell me what you think is going to happen. Do you believe, do you believe Joe Smith has a shot? He can pull off the upset, or you think this is a mismatch? I believe Beterbiev has 2 of the straps. I forget which ones exactly. And that's what I think about those alphabet titles. And Joe Smith Jr. has another strap, right? What is it, the WBO or some shit like that? Beterbiev has the WBA and BC, I believe. And so whoever wins that fight is going to have 3 belts, 3 belts. And then maybe you could get Bivol to fight the winner. And you can make that for unification. Imagine that, Imagine if they were to do it that way. They were to whoever wins this fight fights Bivol, and then gets a shot at undisputed. Whoever, if that was to happen and whoever came out on top, man, would definitely 100% definitely have a shot to get a Canelo fight. Whether it's like late later on this year or the beginning of I guess 2023. I think these guys would do it too. These guys will go for it. I think they're up for it. I think if you offer that on the table, the winner of Joe Smith, um, the winner between Joe Smith and Beterbiev to fight Bivol for undisputed, these are the guys that would definitely go for that fight because they understand what obviously they're doing it for legacy. And then on top of that, you get a legacy fight and a big money fight against Canelo. Strictly speaking, skill set, Wilder makes Joe Smith look like Loma. Yeah, that's not saying much, but I agree with that. Yeah, they need to force people to fight Beterbiev, either step up or duck. Well, that's been happening. He is linear, right? You're talking about Beterbiev, yep. Because you had Adonis Stevenson, who was lineal, loses that to Vosdick, and Beterbiev beat Vosdick. So he is the lineal. He's the lineal light heavyweight champ. The WBC and the IBF, yes. Sorry. He's the WB. Beterbiev is the WBC and IBF, and I believe Joe Smith Jr. is the WBO. I believe that's how it goes. And then Bivol is the WBA. Yeah, man. I hope these fights get made. They need to be. They need to get made. Keep the boxing fans interested. The real boxing fans, right? The real boxing fans. Also, we got the Tyson Fury situation, right? Tyson Fury. Uh, looks like he's going to get a lot of money for this fight, man, against Dillian White. Dillian White's going to make a lot of money, too. Um, looks like Frank Warren found a big money bag, man. He found that big money bag. I wonder who gave him that bag, right? But it's a lot of money, and I believe the bid was 41 million, something like that, 41 million, and the closest was 32 million, which is a lot of money. Definitely a lot of dough. It's by Eddie Hearn, but I guess once that 41 million was called, you know, that saying, man. You got to know when to hold them and fold them, bro. Some dudes. That doesn't mean you ain't, you're not messing with some money. You got some money of your own, but there's always going to be somebody with more money than you. And I just hope they take the fight, man. I hope this fight happens. Hope it does. You know, Fury is definitely about that money. So is White. White wants that nice payday as well. And well, we got it. You get what I'm saying? We got the money. Make this fight happen. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for time to go by, and then next thing you know, you're fighting some type of bum. You're fighting a tune-up. Fight your mandatory, man. You can't get the big fight, the fight that he wants. AJ, that's the fight he wants. Not Usyk. He wants that AJ fight. Um, stay busy. Fight Dillian White. Get him out of the way. If he's so easy, and I think Fury would beat him. But if he's so easy, you take care of that business. That's what I felt Wilder should have done. You know, so many people are like, he'll knock Dillian White out. Dillian White is easy work. And I agree to an extent. When it comes to these fighters, I think they beat him. But you got to do it, and I'm sure Dillian White played a lot of games, but at the same time, the only way you're gonna get him out the way is by beating him in the ring. And so Tyson Fury's gonna have his chance to shut this dude up. Dillian White's gonna have his chance to pull off the upset, dismantle the heavyweight uh, pecking order or patriarchy. I think he's gonna have a good shot, man. I got Fury, man. I got Fury beating him if that fight happens. I think he stops him late too, mid to late. I think he could get Dillian White out of there for sure. But I think Dillian White could expose a lot of things too about this great defensive genius, Tyson Fury. You know, this mythical defensive genius that gets hit with shots, predictable shots, and dropped. You know, no problem, Ant. Recognize, what do you think of Andre Ward downplaying Usyk's victory over AJ? I don't know what he said, but I don't know what he said. I would just say I don't know. Depends on what he said. If he always thought AJ was a hype job, then maybe I would understand him not thinking that that's such a great victory. But if he thought highly of AJ, I don't understand what's the problem, right? Let's say if he picked AJ to beat Usyk, Usyk beat him, then you should, shouldn't that shouldn't that shouldn't that like have some type of influence on the guy you thought was going to lose? Yeah. Fury looked good to a degree, but that was only against Wilder. Sorry, yes, yep. Yes, yes. Yeah, yep. I agree, Aldo. I think if White comes in shape, he can give Fury real problems. He could do a similar job that Chisora did to Usyk in the earlier rounds. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, but even Wilder was catching Fury, aka the defensive wizard. He was. He definitely was, man. The only two rounds where I thought he won, Wilder, I thought Fury looked like he was in trouble, you know. And again, Wilder is a big puncher, but so is White. So is Dillian White. Um, the first round and round four, where he knocked Fury down one time. The second one was more of like an acute, he was still buzzing and basically looked like Wilder just grabbed him by the head and pushed him down. But yeah, I thought he was in trouble in the two rounds that he lost in that fight. And even in the 10th round, when 10th round, I kind of get a little bit, if you're Fury, you got a guy like Wilder in front of you, now you're dropping him and he's spinning. And maybe he got a little careless, and he looked like he got caught with a shot that kind of buzzed him. I wouldn't say hurt him, but it was like, Tyson Fury was like, he understood this was a guy who was on his way out. Just stay composed a little bit, and it's easy. It's easier to be composed when you're hitting a punching bag that's on his way out. And let's say he happens to hurt you a little bit. Let's see. Let's see. Depends on what Wilder comes in, for sure. Is he going to be a shell of himself after taking two beatdowns from Tyson Fury? If he's if he can just leave that behind him and sort of just be the Wilder he's always been, I would still go with Wilder. But it's a close fight because he can clip him. He could clip Wilder. He uses that lead left hook as a fucking weapon. I could see Wilder getting hit with that before Wilder lands his shot. It's all about placing it at the right time. Yeah, it could happen. So if they were to fight now, 50-50 fight, maybe I still give a slight edge to Wilder. Yeah. Yeah, agree. Who wins? Wilder versus Usyk. Can Wilder KO him? Right. It's all depends on. He's not going to catch him. He's not. If that fight was to happen, he's dude. I think it just. I think Usyk would stop him. Usyk would just end up stopping him. He's going to take advantage of a lot of flaws that Wilder brings in every fight. You know, that's what he's going to do. Of course, he has to be wary of the overhand right, but I mean that's it. It's the only thing he has. This is boxing, so I'm going to go with the boxer or the more fluent boxer by a mile in this case. When it comes to Usyk and Wilder, people would take that as you're dissing Wilder, you're a hater. No, it's just looking at it from the sports. The sport is boxing, and you should be able to identify who's the more fluent boxer, who's the guy who's depends on boxing skills versus a guy who just got here sort of by accident, you know, and you can tell by the way he fights. Excuse me. So of course, yeah, Usyk easily. Does Wilder have a puncher's chance? Yeah, a slim one, very slim. Will Wilder return? If so, who does he fight? Good question, but if I had to guess, someone someone in the PBC stable, right? I doubt he'll fight like a guy like, let's say, Frankie Sanchez. That might be too risky. They might start him off with somebody lower than that, like maybe Ortiz 3. they might they might they might put him in there with an Ortiz 3, because we know everybody's dying to see that fight again. But I don't think maybe a Jogba. Maybe they'll put him in there against him. Maybe Wilder doesn't want to come back. Andy Ruiz ain't named, but also hasn't looked. You know, I think I've been hearing talks that Andy Ruiz might fight Joseph Parker again. I think I saw something about that. But, yeah. The thing about an Andy Ruiz fight is that it's very tricky for Wilder. It's a very tricky fight. Yeah, I agree that Ruiz didn't look all that great in his last fight after losing to the rematch to AJ. Was it Chris Arreola? But maybe a Wilder fight motivates him, and he does have the skills to like counterpunch the shit out of him, take advantage of Wilder's bad, horrible defense, horrible footwork. So you never know. That could be a tricky fight for him. Like the first fight, coming back. Could see a Jogba Wilder playing out like Ngannou, Lewis, scared of each other. Either that or it's a repeat of Gerald Washington fight. Yeah, yeah. Ngannou, I never saw him fight Lewis, but I have a feeling I know what you're talking about. I heard people talk about how that was a shitty fight. So yeah, it could play out like the Gerald Washington fight. It could. I think Wilder knocks him out. Yep. Wilder was spiritually buck broken. Yeah, man. I think that when you play those little games to gain fans that they're just miserable people, right? They take you down that path with you, and so when you lose, you get let down, you know. Yeah, I could definitely see how he got buck broken for sure. Java would be scared. He'd fight scared. Yeah, he would fight scared. I think he would. Yep. I think he might be the perfect candidate for Wilder's comeback. He's the guy. I wouldn't be shocked if they put him in there with Frankie Sanchez because I think he could beat a guy like that. But then again, it's going to be his first fight back from two straight destruction losses to Tyson Fury. So they may not want to take that risk in terms of confidence. I really want to see Beterbieve Canelo. What are the chances you think we will see it? I have to be honest with you, man. 50-50, and that's probably being nice. I do think that well, let me say this, right? Canelo, I could see Canelo still try to make that Makabu fight, especially what happened on Saturday night. That guy is really bad, to be honest with you, man. That's the best way I could put it. Um, I could see a situation where he makes that fight happen and maybe waits to see what happens with Beterbiev and Joe Smith. If Joe Smith was to win that fight, I could see and that's just, and I think that that's a very slim scenario that happens. I would not be surprised if Canelo goes back down in weight. Really, it won't be going back down in weight of anything, right? Because I do believe if he fights Macabo, there'll be some type of catch weight, and basically, Canelo's going to be more or less the same size as he was at light heavyweight against Kovalev, which pretty much he looks the same size even as a super middleweight. Um, that's a scenario that I can see. Um, will he fight Beterbiev? I think he'll fight Beterbiev on the one condition. I think Beterbiev has to fight Joe Smith. If he wins that fight, he goes undisputed, and he fights Bivol. If he beats Bivol, I could see that fight then playing out where Canelo will be comfortable taking a chance against Beterbiev, who might be a little torn, and uh, at least 1 year older. Beterbiev is what, 36, I believe, 36, 37. You get him 2 fights with a Joe Smith Jr., a Dimitri Bivol, a fight. These are fights that potentially, let's be honest, right? When you're 36, 37, to fight those type of, 2 fighters like that, you could come out of there victorious, but a little bit more worn and torn, and then on top of that, you're getting older. Let's see. Tell me how much I love women's boxing like I love watching paint dry. You know, you ever see when someone paints a house and you just sit there and you just look at the paint drying? That's how much I love it. That's how much I love women's boxing. I know that there's some big fight that's happening, and I've been hearing some YouTubers talking about it. And some of these YouTubers, I don't have anything against them. I like them. They're pretty cool. But I don't give a fuck about women's boxing, man. I just don't. It's just, it's like cruelty. It's like, it's like making, what's the analogy I guess? It's like making 2 cats fight. You're like this piece of garbage that makes these 2 cats go at each other, you know, purposely fight. That's what I think about it, man. Is that the one that's fighting, right? I know her last name is Serrano. Look, this is how very little I know about women's boxing, okay? I'm sorry. If you're listening to this, and if you're somebody that used to like me or likes me and this is going to affect your judgment, look, I got to be honest, man. I don't even know who these people are, all right? I know the other girl that she might be fighting or is fighting. It's like a big star in the UK. I think her name is what the fuck's her name? She's a white girl, right? Katie Taylor. That's her name. And she's gonna be fighting this Serrano chick. You know? Exactly. It's unnatural. It is unnatural, man. Look, you gotta be careful I think I could get away with saying this. It's not in the title, right? It's fucking unnatural. Would you date any of these girls? Is this the kind of girl you want to marry? Hey, my fighting wife. I mean, unless you're weird, right? I don't know. There's nothing wrong with a girl knowing how to protect herself. If you're a guy that is experienced in some type of martial arts. And if you want to, in case you're not around while you're working and your woman has to be alone with your children, or maybe you don't even have children with her yet, and you want her to just be basically, fundamentally sound to somewhat give a fight, I'm cool with that. But then, I want my woman to be a breadwinner. Go be a breadwinner. Go fight. Be a warrior. What I'm supposed to be. I want you to be that. No, I just don't like women's boxing, man. It's very unnatural. I agree with that. How dare you? I'm picturing you saying that in that little girl's voice, that the climate change girl. I think she's from Switzerland or whatever. How dare you? I'm picturing you like saying it in that voice. Well, look, you know, pretty much, man. Pretty much, man. Even the Romans did use women for it. Yeah, sure, man. That's probably the beginning of the decline, man. You're gonna sit down and watch 10 2-minute rounds with no knockdowns and enjoy it. Yeah, man. Uh, I think you just have a normal brain. It's just the normal male's brain. I agree with you. What are the chances? Okay, what are the chances Loma fights Cambosos next? I think there's a good chance. There's a very good chance because you see, Cambosos is going to want that fight in Australia, where he's from, right? Second, this money talk, and let's be honest, Haney's going to want a certain amount of money, and I don't blame him to an extent. There's going to be a lot of Eddie Hearn is terrible. I just hate to say this. Eddie Hearn is he's a POS. Let's be honest, right? Cambosos probably doesn't trust him. All right, and more than likely he probably doesn't want to deal with all that outside shit that's going on. And I think the better person to like have a straight up fight, win or lose, actually, if you're Cambosos and you're fighting in Australia, you have a better chance of losing and still winning the fight. It's against Lomachenko because Loma's going for broke. Uh, whether you like him or not, he's a warrior. He's not here to waste any time. He'll go in there and bet on himself, and we'll see how that fight turns out. So I give him a real good chance. What? Yeah, 50% chance. Yes, yes, exactly, exactly, man. Let her teach her how to use it. Nothing wrong with that. You know, teach her how to use it. Make sure she's a good woman. You can trust her. She doesn't use it against you. But yeah, I agree. Amy wouldn't leave America for all the gummy bears in Golden Spoon. Yeah, Schneider, my boy. Fuck yeah, that's how you do it. There's so many nice hosters, man. Look, man, I'll be careful how I say this. Uh, there are plenty of people that have one, and they just know that they're smart enough to understand where to put it. You know, sometimes you don't want to carry it around your shoulder. You know, you could put people who like to put their straps uncovered by their waist. It's not a good idea. Now, if you put it in a holster, I could understand. You know, yeah, G code inside the waistband. Yep. Yeah, man, I don't care for women boxing. Never will. Not saying that these girls can't fight, man. There's some. I'm pretty sure they could. You know, I remember. I remember being pretty impressed with Lou Duval's sister. I think her name was Melissa. Melissa Duval. She was a amateur fighter, amateur boxer. She was from around my way. I thought she was pretty impressive as a fighter. You know, as a boxer. But I've gotten older. I've grown up, and I don't even think back then I would have been ever been interested in women boxing like that. You know, yeah. That's the chick that that's the chick that beat up the Rousey chick, right? The blonde girl, the blonde chick. She yeah, she gave her kind of like a beat down. You know, she gave her a little beat down. I believe she used boxing skills, right, to do it. I'm all for women knowing how to fight. They need it. Just don't make me watch it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, whatever, man. I don't mind watching women tennis, right? Like there's competitions that they could play in. I really don't care about the fighting thing. Yeah, I remember that. I definitely remember that. Absolutely, bro. Oh, she has. Okay. I tell you, Aldo, I really don't know much about like the big fight that everyone's talking about. I barely know their name. The girl from the UK and the Spanish girl. Uh, you know who I'm talking about, right? Right. Main man,
What up, bro?
Anthony. So, Ant, I know you can hear me fine, right?
Yes. Can you
I
hear
hear
me?
you very low because
Okay.
I left my. I can hear you, which is good. I think it's
No.
gonna be good with just like one other person on the panel, you, me, but I hear you very low. So
Can't get it a little muffled. You don't want to get it too muffled.
right, right. I know
Gotcha.
you can hear me fine, but without the AirPods, I hear you guys very low. I don't know what I did to my phone, but it's happening both on my phone and my iPad, you know. But
Really?
anyway, I
On
can hear you.
both?
I'm sorry.
It's happening on both?
Yeah, it's weird.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know if I did something.
Did you try to find like a StreamYard setting maybe?
I thought I did. I went to StreamYard, the settings, and I made it adjustable for, let's say, the iPhone that I'm using.
Yeah.
I made it compatible for that, thinking that might work. But like just me and you on here, I can hear you better. I still hear you low, but I can hear you better.
Can everyone else hear me?
I'm pretty sure. Um, Anybody in the chat, let me know if you're having a hard time hearing Anthony or you hear him just fine. Perfect. They said they hear you perfect.
Huh.
Yeah. You see, they say we both sound perfect.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that.
I'm just hearing you low, but I can. It's easier, just me and you. I guess just like one
Yeah.
other person on the panel.
Let me know if you hear this. Look, with the women fighting thing, I mean,
Yeah,
look, they're just not naturally aggressive. First of all, they may have like some childhood trauma, anger they need to get rid of, or they think boxing will help them get rid of. That's therapy you need. It's not boxing. Like it's just not, man. There's no reason I should get this internal like queasiness if it was normal, you know? Like it
absolutely.
just
I
doesn't.
totally agree. And that's how I feel when I watch women boxing. I do.
Yeah,
And I know
me
some
too.
people have a problem with it. And I mean, listen, if you want to promote it, I say go ahead.
Look, I
But I don't
saw
think there's much they can do to make it as big as men
dude, I don't
boxing.
care how much of these dudes be like, I am such a boxing head. I support boxing. What that means is you're a fucking fanboy. Real boxing men don't just support anything boxing because it's the sport of boxing. That's just weird. Like boxing can do wrong. Like don't worry, it does wrong. You don't have to support everything boxing does because you're such a fan. No, dude, I'm a fan of the sweet science. F the sport. Fuck all these people. I don't care. I just like the sweet science and great action and violence. That's what I'm into. That's what most men are into. That's why you watch the sport. It ain't just let me just give my money to shitty product. That's not what this is about. But when I saw this ES News interview, right? Just saw it today. This dude, you know that like white bald headed trainer LEB interviewing all the time. He goes like his gym. He don't really have any main like big fighters or nothing, but he's
I know
interviewed.
you're talking about. He has like a little bit of a.
They brought up this Shields fight. I guess Shields is fighting on the same day as somebody else coming up. I forget who. And he's like, "Look, I love women's boxing, but I just got to be real. All the fans are going to choose the other sport." And I wanted to be like, "Bro, you don't love it. You don't. Like, why do you have to? You're lying to Ellie. You're lying to me, every viewer. Maybe even you're obviously lying to yourself if you believe that nonsense. That's why you even said, but no one will be watching it. They'll all be watching the other one. Why do you think that is? Why isn't it split in half? Why? No,
He's
even
Being
admitting
PC, man. He's being
most.
PC. He's
exactly.
being PC. He
Yeah, and
doesn't
it's
want to offend
pathetic.
anyone.
It's fucking
But
pathetic.
recognize, right? Do you have like 5 options on the bottom of StreamYards?
What is it?
Do you have 5 options on the bottom of? Or you're on the browser, right?
Yeah, I'm on the.
So you see where it
Correct. I'm
says
on the
Cam and
browser.
Mike.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You see where it says Cam and Mike, right?
Uh-huh.
Press that and then go to audio.
Oh, okay. Wait.
And then maybe I don't know if you have any other like sort of, maybe you have like a speaker or something, but you can play it on there instead.
Okay, I'm going to settings. Going to audio. Automatically adjust mic volume. Echo cancellation. How do you hear me now? I mean, speak. You guys speak.
Yo,
Test.
Yeah, it still sound low. Okay,
Ah,
I think I'm close to the problem, guys. You could keep speaking. I'm gonna be working on this. I think I almost got it.
all right, go
Okay.
go ahead. Yeah, take your time out. Try to figure that out. We'll hold this down for a moment for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, we'll hold it down.
But yeah, Klaus. Klaus is his name exactly, bro. You know who he is.
I haven't even watched DS News, so I don't even know who you're talking about, to be
I don't either,
honest.
obviously, but it
Yeah.
popped up and I clicked it. I don't know why I even clicked it. What the topic was, I can't even remember. But they were talking about the. I mean, you know what? It might have been a YouTube short or something, actually.
The only time I watched him, he was still with like always hanging around fucking Brandon Rios and Robert Garcia. That was the last time I used to watch like Sec
Yeah.
Back, man. I don't watch that shit anymore because it's all the same shit. It's like, what's your opinion about this, and that? And it's like, oh, he's got a great punch, but this other guy has speed and technique. It's like all the same shit, man. Like you're not telling me anything new.
I know. I know. Uh, yeah. Like, and look, it's cool if you're a kid, I guess, to watch that shit because you're trying to learn. But once you know the sport, like I know it better than honestly anyone he's going to interview outside of like Robert Garcia or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Most of
They're
the
not teaching
people,
me anything. They're actually making me mad most of the time with their lack of knowledge or
yeah,
their lies.
dude. It's like it's actually crazy because like these guys, like, have you ever like watched a fight, right? And then like you hear a fighter's opinion of it, and you're like, what the fuck did you just watch?
Almost every
It's
time.
like these
Almost every
people,
time.
these fighters, they don't know what they're talking about, seriously,
Yeah.
and they do this shit for a living.
Yeah, no.
I watch
Even
this every
them
fucking
breaking
Saturday.
the fight down, they're still fucking clueless,
Yeah,
man.
I watch this like bi-monthly, maybe. Like, and I
Yeah.
know more than your fucking, every day in the gym. You don't know shit, man. Like,
I
I
mean,
don't
we've
know what
heard
to
our
say.
whole lives, like, but he's a fighter. He knows.
Dude,
So
I
what's he
fucking hate
know?
that thing. It's like,
What does he exactly? What does he know that
What's
you're
he know?
not able to observe
Yeah. The
yourself?
dude doesn't follow boxing like we do. He's not going to sit there and study the sweet science of all these fighters like we do. He's going to study himself and the guys in his division. That's it. You think he's wasting time studying some flyweight or something? You know what I mean? He's going to study the guys in his division, and that's it.
I mean,
By the way, you
there's
guys
that.
hear me
If
good, though, right?
that, yo, if
Yeah, you're
that.
coming in clear. You're coming in
Okay,
clear.
I'm hearing you guys a lot better. Not all the way, but a lot better. There's a volume thing. Yeah, I raised the volume up a little bit, and now I can hear you guys pretty much like
Pretty good.
100%.
Okay, cool.
It's workable now, right?
Definitely.
All
I don't
right.
have to. I can hear you. I could put my phone down and like do something, and I can still hear you guys.
Cool.
That's probably what it was, Hawker. The Tyson Fury versus White, 40 million. Klaus breaks it down, or Kraus, whatever his fucking name is. Yeah, that's probably what it was.
I mean,
I'm
what
like I'm.
really can that dude tell you? Like,
Nothing.
what information? Like, he's not in the fucking negotiations. He's
And
just
what's
some
that big
dude when it
fight?
comes
His
to this shit.
opinion on some nonsense, honestly.
Hey, what's that big girls fight that's happening?
No clue.
Do you know their names?
Nope.
I keep like I
I
know one
swear
is
to
from the
God, I know
UK.
nothing about it. I don't know. Only chick's name I know is Shields. I don't even know her fucking
Yeah,
Clarissa. I
exactly. That's
almost
the only
forgot
one
her
I
first name.
know.
And I know Katie Taylor because you just said her name.
Katie Taylor. That's her name. That's the
I
one that's
only know
fighting.
that because you just said it 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Tomorrow, I will forget her name.
I will forget her name. It's
Yeah,
just
how many times have I had to ask you
Amanda
guys, what's her
Serrano, that's the
name?
other girl.
What, like 10
Amanda
different times in the last
Serrano.
2 months.
I
That's
just
how
had to
little my
Google it.
brain gives a shit.
No, there's like some shitty fucking like men's card. I'm gonna watch that. Like, I don't give a shit about this woman's card, man. Like,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
oh my god. And it's not even like just because they're women, because like there's some, well, women's sports in general are just lower, but like I'll watch like the top UFC women's event. I would, but women's boxing, I don't see the attraction. I really don't.
I don't either.
I mean, like, if people want to be fair, right? Like, I hear some of these people capping for these girls' boxes. I'm like, okay, you want it to be 100% fair? Okay, let's do it. Why are they not fighting 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds, and doing it for 12? How come?
And look, I agree with that too, but it's always some like half, like three quarters of a man versus some 0% woman. I mean 0% man woman. Just it's some little girl versus some dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
And like the technique, like their GWOT, the fucking GWO or whatever, like it's such a weird fucking name. Their goat, their female goat, has the skills of fucking Wilder, swinging all over the goddamn place. Like seriously, this is your best? Come on, man.
I hear you, man. I fucking hear you.
Hey, if you could get me a girl that could punch like Wilder or have that kind of effect
Yeah.
to other opponents, or you could a girl that fights like Triple G, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, then I'll be interested. I'll be like, man, that's just
Honestly, you just need the skill.
Well,
yeah.
that's a
If
great
you got
point.
like a
That's a
Roman,
great point. Do you think we're going to take time out of our day or night to watch some like 8-year-olds with gloves on? Because that's what it's equivalent to. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
there's nothing there. So what are you like really watching for? To
dude,
support boxing.
you'd have more entertainment going to a random boxing gym and having two randoms just fight out with no boxing skill. You would have more entertainment watching that shit show than this fucking greatest female fight of all time. Like seriously,
Oh,
this
yeah.
fight is gonna be like fucking Paulie Malignaggi versus Artem Lobov. It's gonna be like that, but even worse, even worse. Like imagine Paulie right and his power. Now divide that by like 3. You got the women's power.
Yeah, too many people are like, I shouldn't have to pick between, Katie Taylor versus Serrano and Shakur Steve. I think it's Shakur Stevenson the same night, right? Which is, by the way, that's my birthday, April 30th. Um, it's like, what do you mean? What this is? There some type of conspiracy that fight is happening at the same time to like hurt women's boxing? Is this what this is about?
And this is a great. I've always noticed this. I never spoke on this. Okay, you'll see a chick like one of these girls hitting the bag, and they're like zap, zap, zap. They actually, you're like, oh shit, she kind of got something. But then you put her in the ring with someone like actually opposing her, and it turns right back into grade school, like just haymakers, just
Yep.
flailing like a girl. Did you ever notice that? You'll see her go bang, 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 and then in the ring she's like, ah! I'm like, what the fuck?
It's
I,
every single one. Every single one. Like,
yeah,
like I said,
I've given them all opportunities. It's all the same.
yeah.
The only time you ever saw like something look close to like what it's supposed to is when Kaylee Tate, shit. I'm sorry, not Kaylee Taylor.
Holly.
No, damn, the chick who used to fight Christy Martin. When Christy Martin
Christy
was
Martin, yeah.
like a literal Vegas hooker, and she could just bang her. Outside of that, it's ridiculous.
It's the skill set of Wilder with less power than Paulie Malignaggi. That's what it is.
It is. That
Yeah.
is what you're watching, you're right?
Sorry, just
Good way to
never
put it.
interested in women's boxing. Never.
Nope.
The most involved I've been in women's boxing was watching the woman GOAT get beat in MMA. That's the biggest I've been interested in women's boxing.
Look, if people were honest, right? If that trainer, right, was to be honest, he'll say, okay, I'm gonna give you 3 events, and you tell me which one you pick. Women's boxing, a woman's cooking show, or women in bikinis pillow fighting. Which one you think men would pick the most?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
He said
So,
a cooking
women's
show,
boxing,
women in bikinis, or women's boxing.
women
I
in
was
bikinis,
all day.
or women boxing.
Dude,
Oh,
I'd watch a fucking cooking show over that. Like, come on.
yeah, that you're
I'm
probably
talking about men, right? Well, who men would pick the most because they're the large consumer
the
buyers, right?
bikinis
They're
is
the
the
ones that
obvious
buy the
pick.
most. So,
But recognize the bikinis is the obvious pick. Like you could just eliminate that whole choice, and everybody's gonna pick the cooking show, man. I could learn how to cook some fucking teriyaki chicken or something, and learn something. Women's boxing, I'm gonna see like the shittiest fight I've ever seen in my life. Really.
Yeah. Hey man, maybe
Is
there's
it?
maybe there's people that are such boxing junkies that they'll watch two midgets box each other. You know,
And then
if
you
it's
talk
sanctioned.
about it like it's something great too. If they made a midge division, you'd have dudes being like, "We gotta support boxing." I'm telling you, man. We gotta support boxing.
Well, they got the Hezbollah and all his little other little
Yeah.
dudes, right?
Yeah,
They
Hezbollah.
have them fighting, and like this get millions of views, so they kind of do have it, and they're
Yeah,
blowing
but
them out the
he's like kind of
water.
funny, so
Yeah.
Yeah, he's funny as fuck though.
I like that little dude.
So is it Shakur and Valdez on that night,
I don't know.
I
April
don't even know if that
30th?
fight's confirmed yet.
Because I've heard I've seen like DAZN, they had like a little article. I just googled it. And they were saying Serrano, Taylor, Valdez, Shakur. Which one's the pick? And it's like, come on, dude, really? That's a question. This isn't even like a historic fight, Shakur and Valdez, but obviously them.
Yeah, man. Uh, I'll stick to men's boxing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All day.
Is it gonna
You
go
wanna
directly at the
support
same time?
boxing or make boxing great again or whatever, dude? Get these guys to fight each other and stop watching bum bashing. Like
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
stop supporting showcase fights. Straight up, stop supporting them. Period.
Yeah. Have these
Stream them
fucking
and don't buy a ticket. Never put your fucking TV channel on that channel. Don't do it. And stream it. And don't buy a ticket. I'm dead serious. That's how you want to support boxing. That's how you make it better.
Or
That
if you
is
want to
how you
support
bring
great
more money to
boxing,
the sport,
that's
more
how you.
eyes. Because once they stop, it's going to take a bit. But once that stop, it'll take fucking 6 months if people would actually do it. Once you
If you want to
stop
support,
that, they'll start putting on good product.
if you want boxing to be great, that's what you do. Exactly that. You don't support the BS. You don't
Yeah.
say, well, I don't like this fight, but I'm gonna watch it
Yeah.
anyway. I'm going to buy it, whether it's pay-per-view or you actually buy a ticket to go to the fight. That's not the way, you support boxing. It just says that, like you said earlier, Anthony, you're a fanboy, is what you're doing.
Oh, it is. You're
You're a
being dumb.
fanboy of the
You're
sport. The
being
sport could
dumb.
never do any wrong.
Dude, you're literally being used. They're using you for your time and your money. And time is money. When you got to sit there for 3 hours and watch this pathetic card, you just got used. They just wasted 3 hours or whatever of your life where you could have actually done something that mattered rather than stare at the idiot box.
I mean, you're 100% right. I mean, listen, I hear this talking point about how streamers are the ones hurting the sport of boxing. Listen, no, it's the greed. It's the greed of the boxers. Because
Then I'm
I
hurting
did the
boxing.
math on your channel, right, Ant?
Yeah.
You remember what I said? Muhammad Ali in the fight of the century, he made the equivalent. He made 2.5 mil or somewhere around there, but in adjusted for inflation, he only made like 17 million. Fucking Fury is getting almost double that versus White. Think about that. The fight of the century, 17 million adjusted for inflation.
And if Tyson Fury is what they say he is, what everyone's hyping him up to be, this is a bum bashing event. This is pathetic mismatch. So why would he get that? At least then he's fighting fucking Joe Frazier. You know what I mean? Or
Even
George
us who are
Foreman or
critical, even us who are critical of Fury, I mean, we still expect him to win pretty handedly,
Yeah, absolutely.
So like
he better.
Exactly. So like it's not even like you don't even need to buy into the hype to see that this is like a relatively easy matchup,
Yeah.
Obviously it could be a hard fight, but on paper it shouldn't at all.
Right. If Fury's as good as some people make him out to be, and I say he's good. I think he's when you put him compared to the competition today, yes, he's probably better than most of these guys,
especially on his top day, his top game. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's he's a fighter. He's good. He's got heart. He's got some skills. He lacks speed and power, but he makes up with it with just determination, heart, I guess.
Yeah, he does have a lot. He has a lot of grit in him. You
Yeah,
know, I think some of it is because of size too, and
it
like
is. I'd have a
it's
lot of grit versus a little midget too.
right, exactly. So you're fighting a dude that you're not like. Even with Wilder, let's face it, he's a
Mhm.
bigger man than Wilder is. This is why I laugh when people say, "How did he do all that damage, bro? He's much bigger than Wilder. That's why." Like, no, he's not. He's not much. He's okay. You're going by height. That's not bigger. I'm talking about bigger where it counts. He has a much bigger cranium than fucking Wilder does. He weighs. He outweighs Wilder by like fucking, I don't know, 50 pounds, right? He's got bigger hands than Wilder. Bigger
He's
wrists.
bigger. He's just bigger, dude. He's just
He's
bigger.
just a bigger man. It's not a shocker to me.
Yeah, I mean, if look, if you get knocked down and the guy you're fighting is equal to you, or even maybe supposedly better, it's going to be a lot different than getting up versus someone you're supposed to whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
And
was
I
shocking
think
to me in that fight? The only thing that shocked me in that fight was Tyson Fury almost getting knocked out by a dead man. That's what was shocking to me.
Exactly.
and the thing is, right, about Wilder, if you actually look at him from the waist up, he is big. The issue is he has no fucking weight on his legs, those
That's the
chicken
problem.
legs. So when you have like, let's be real here, right? When someone leans on you, you're not taking the full 270 pounds from Fury, right? You're only taking like half of it, like 100 and whatever. So he's leaning on him, and those small legs, they just can't hold up the extra weight. It's not even that much more weight. It's just Wilder's legs, they aren't there because they're so small. That's the issue. And this motherfucker was training the bench press when to train basically to keep Fury off of him. That was a foolish thing. He should have been training his legs the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wilder's definitely afraid of leg day for sure.
He just says I use my hands. What's the point of my legs? I don't
Yeah.
think he quite understands that that's where a lot of power derives from.
You do
And
realize how
support.
like you do realize how stupid that is, right? That's what
Yeah,
I would tell Wilder.
for real, for real.
Yeah. What do you think about Loma? The chances somebody brought up in the chat, they asked me, what do you think of the chances that Loma gets the Cambosis fight next? I think it's looking pretty 50-50 to be honest.
Who's the
It's a
runner up?
50% chance he gets it.
Would Haney be the next one up then?
I mean, will Haney take the fight if the winner's Loma?
Well, what's the other percentage if it's only 50 for Loma? That's
Well,
what I want.
because okay, so basically the whole deal is he's either fighting Haney or Loma next, right? That's
Right.
what everybody's been talking about. I'm saying that at one point I thought they were going to get it was going to be Haney, but now that I look at it and I take everything into consideration, I think it's a 50-50 chance that Loma gets the fight next. Let's face it, Haney gets that fight and somehow wins, right?
He'll
He's
never
not going
fight
to fight
Loma.
Lomachenko.
Never.
No,
He'll probably retire, honestly.
probably go up to
That
140 if he
motherfucker gets
could.
paid too much, too. So, like, what key fight has he had? He fought, what's his name? The fucking blown up. Yeah, I don't. What is it? 126? What was his last fight? What was the
Who's?
dude's name? The Mexican?
I'm sorry. What? Who are you saying?
Haney. His last fight. The
Oh, he fought
Mexican.
JoJo.
Yeah, like. And then before that, who else? What's his name? The dude that,
Linares.
yeah, Linares. Like those are. That's. Oh my god! I
His
don't
last
get how
three
people
fights
can
are
say this dude's like
Gamboa,
number one in his
Linares,
division.
and JoJo. That was his last three
Yeah.
fights.
How really it's just Linares and JoJo, right? How can you like based off of those performances say this dude is like the best pure boxer in the division? Like, I don't get it, man. I see more hype, sensible hype around Shakur than Haney.
Who? Shakur?
Than Haney.
Yeah, we're talking about
What?
Haney.
People
The
saying
hype
he's
for
the best at 130?
No, I'm saying just the hype around Shakur is more understandable than Haney.
I do. I don't think. I mean, look, neither one of them should really be getting their hype, but Shakur at least has, just more physical gifts. I have to go get my charger. That could, be developed into something. I agree with that, I guess. But I don't think any of them should be getting that hype. I think Bob Arum should be fucking siding the hell out of Conseco, getting him and promoting him. Like
I think they are planning on doing that because they gave him a lot of credit in that fight a few nights ago.
Hey, Aldo, Anthony, hold it down for like a few minutes. I got to step away.
All right, I got you.
All good, man. But yeah, that Robson fight, I only watched like 5 rounds, but man, he was doing well. I heard the commentary saying he got like rocked in the third.
Nah, he got a tiny buzz. He
So
just got hit, stepped back, was like,
up.
whoo, and then came right back. But I mean, he took a very good shot, took it like a champ, came right back and kept whooping ass. He won the round. I mean, you might be wait, I think I actually gave the dude that round, but that's the only reason. If he didn't get hit like that, his knees didn't buckle or nothing. He didn't get a stanky leg or nothing. However, dude, it reminded me of like
the Valdez fight.
They had a hell of a first 6 rounds. Martinez went to war, dude. They both went to war. They were just letting it fly, but dude couldn't he couldn't keep up with Conseco. Conseco took his best and straight up wore him down, man.
I didn't catch the full fight. I guess I came in right after the war, but it honestly it reminded me a lot of like the Valdez fight, but more competitive. This Martinez dude, I honestly think he could beat Valdez. I'm pretty sure I said it on the stream.
I think he would.
Yeah, like, dude, he's Valdez was getting stunned like multiple times versus Robson. Like people don't
Martinez
remember
is big, strong. He's durable. He got a hell of a jab. I mean, he's a good fighter, man. Yeah. I can see why he was the favorite. I don't think it was just like the fact that probably the promoter wanted him to win.
Yeah,
I think they thought he could win. That's the thing. It wasn't just that they planned on helping him. He was a monster, dude. He really was. But that just says how damn good Shakur is, man.
You mean Robson?
Or Robson? Oh yeah, Conseco. I mean Conseco. Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, I think a lot of people bought into that gaslighting of the Shakur loss. Like, oh, Robson got tired and then Shakur took over. Like, there is no good reason why he should have been the underdog versus Martinez. Like, this Martinez dude, I didn't know him before this fight. I'll be frank. Like, I'm not really that deep into boxing as I used to, but I mean, I've never heard of this dude. And then he's the favorite. Like, Ant, do you know this Martinez dude very well?
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
So him getting the favorite,
it was wild.
Disrespectful. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. I mean, but the dude came out with this like straight up evil look. Like he was there to fight. He had it for 6 rounds. Like he was tough. Then I think it was like after the 6th and walking to the corner, that look was gone, bro. It was gone. Dude beat it right up out of him.
You talking about Martinez?
Yeah, yeah. Conseco beat it right out of him, man.
Yeah. But even those last like 5 rounds, I think, he was giving them good work. He was there. He didn't get.
There's no quitting.
He didn't get rocked with anything. I don't believe.
No, not really. No, not that I can remember. The one. So, I mean, look, man, Conseco's a savage. I mean, he might be on something. I mean, there was like 0% body fat almost. I mean, dude was like a machine. He really was. He was like in the last fight too. He might just have that, be gifted with that body. I don't know, but he's so damn big and strong for that weight. It's not that he's a weight bully, because Martinez is about the same size.
Great frame.
Big, yeah, just big framed.
Yeah,
but strong and clearly got dog in him.
I mean, let's be real here. Like the is it the 130 or 135 pound division that's really like the fake catch weight division? Like these weight divisions, like there's not that big of a difference. There's only like 6 pounds. So like these guys, the weight difference in the smaller divisions, especially in boxing, it is a bit overstated in my opinion. Like
it is.
Yeah. So he's not that
Look, you
big.
got these guys like killing themselves to make like
Yeah.
130 or something like that. If you're doing that, you absolutely belong at 130. And if you're killing yourself to make 135, then you have just go up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that to me, that just I get it if you're just starting out, you're trying to fight the smallest guys you can, you're young, so you can easily make the weight.
Yeah.
But when you start struggling to make a weight, it's done. Don't struggle. Why would you put that through your body? You're not getting the best out of your body.
Exactly.
Why
Especially at
would
the
you
lower
do it?
weights too. Like there's so many close weight divisions and if you were like 175, it makes sense because the next division up is fucking cruiserweight. Like what is that, 25 pounds? That's a huge jump. And I don't understand why there isn't like, those weight divisions are a bit not deep. Like cruiserweight is good, but the 175, it's like really only a handful of guys. Like a lot of divisions in boxing are a bit top heavy, like there could be a lot more shifting of weight divisions, like the bottom divisions, a 5 pound difference, that's nothing, in the grand scheme of things. But a 25-pound difference between light heavyweight and cruiserweight, you can make one there, and you could have solid competition from the small cruiserweights and the big light heavyweights. There's a whole bunch of new matchups that could be made.
I mean, I'll be honest. I would like to see Conseco versus Haney. I think he
Yeah.
would fucking destroy Haney, man. I really do. I really do.
Yeah, and like it's actually funny because I was just about to say, right, Haney and Shakur, like who's really smaller, right? Because if you've seen Shakur out of the ring, like there was this picture with him and his girl, dude, he looked like like he was 155 or 154. He was
Oh,
massive.
he shouldn't be at 130. I'll tell you that. I
Yeah,
mean, he's there because it was a fairly weak division at the time. Now the people have settled and got who they are and established themselves. Now it's actually pretty tough. He ain't beating Conseco. Like he's not doing it. He's like a kid. That dude's a man. You know what I mean? He's not. Your speed ain't enough.
yeah.
Like this dude's fast, so much stronger. Fucking granite chin. You ain't doing it. You're
So
not beating him.
Shakur and Valdez each hold one belt, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Who owns the other two? Do you know?
I honestly don't know. But I think they really wanted that Martinez dude to win. So Shakur didn't have to fight Conseco. Does anyone know who Conseco? Did they change the rankings? Is he like a mandatory for anybody right now?
I believe the WBC. He had that
The
medallion.
WBC?
Yeah, he had that little medallion,
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, he was showing everyone. So he's right back there for the winner.
Right back
whenever
there
that
for
fight.
Valdez. He will murder Valdez this time. Well, he did last time, but he'll
He's got that champ confidence. Like you could tell.
Yeah.
He knew he won that fight. He knew, and he got better.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It didn't bother him, which is good. You didn't see it destroy him. He's probably suffered plenty of robbery L's in the amateurs.
Yeah.
I mean, and he took real L's, like Loma beat him in the amateurs, so I know that much. So dude's still, he could take an L and keep it pushing.
And from his perspective, right, he got the win originally, but then there was like point deductions that flipped it over, which were rightfully so, because there was something weird about that fight. I can't remember it right now, but I'm sure from his perspective,
the WBA
it was a
is vacant. There is no like true WBA champ right now.
And what about IBF? Navarrete? Is he 130?
I can't drop a link. I don't have the ability. You have to wait for recognize.
Oh, who wants the link?
150.
Dream.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Dream team.
Recognize. Do you know who the IBF 130 champ is? Is it Navarrete?
Navarrete.
130.
130.
Yeah.
I believe it's Navarrete. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a tough dude right there. But honestly,
yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly from the fight that was on the BDA, somebody streamed the fight on the BDA Discord. I'm not too impressed with his skill set.
Who, Navarrete?
Yeah, like he keeps his hands down really low, so he's open for shots. Yeah, so let's be real here. A vacant title.
No, isn't Navarrete at 126, right? Not 130.
Oh yeah, he is. He
Oh,
is.
Yeah,
He
okay.
is a featherweight.
So
yeah,
then
yeah.
who's the IBF at 130? Somebody
Well,
just said it was Navarrete, so that's why I went with that.
Ogawa. I have no idea. Ogawa. Oh, I've seen that dude fight before. I've seen
Okay,
him fight
thank you,
before.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that, your hero.
Yo,
What's up, 150?
what's up, man? Hey, Navarrete at 126, yo, and he got the
Yeah,
W.
yeah. I
Yeah,
just
we just
remember that. I was like, wait a
corrected it.
second.
Yeah, he
Navarrete
got the
is
WBO.
I
yeah.
got some
He's the
misinformation
WBO
provided to
champion,
me.
right?
We had to fact
Yeah,
check
at
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
130, Shakur holds the WBO. Valdez holds the WBC. Uh, what's his name?
WBA is
Chico
vacant.
Martinez holds the IBF, and WBA is held by some fucking I forgot his name. He about to fight Chris Colbert.
Wait,
I
so we
forgot his
got
name, bro.
so we got some more misinformation. Somebody just said the WBA was vacant.
I'm sorry, Ogawa holds the IBF.
Well,
I'm
the
sorry.
Super WBA. He probably isn't the. You know.
Yeah, I don't keep
So he's
track
the
with
regular
the.
champ.
Yeah, that's his name. Second guess, Roger, whatever his name is. That's him. That's him. He's the WBA champ.
Is
Ogawa's
he
IBF,
regular or
Shakur's
super?
WBO, and then Valdez is WBC.
I mean, you say that. I think he would beat him, but I would still like to see that fight.
Yeah, I
Navarrete and
think Navarrete beats Max Ale, but Max Ale's
Matseo.
tough.
Yep.
Max Ale's tough.
Who's
I think
the,
Navarrete
I'm
beats him.
literally forgetting. Who's the guy we just watched a week or two ago at featherweight? The guy that everyone was talking about Navarrete should fight.
Maxio
Yeah,
No.
the guy that
and
beat
Gary Russell.
Russell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Max
Max
Ale.
Side. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, under Pacquiao. Yeah,
Thank you. Can't believe I forgot that. But
Mark Max Ale. Yep.
And Kiko's the champion again, right?
Yeah, Kiko's a champion. At 26 though.
Belt.
No, that's 26.
He's fighting at 126. He's fighting
Warrington, Josh Warrington,
Warrington, Josh Warrington. Yep.
which is some bullshit. He just got his ass whooped. How the fuck is he getting a title shot? Eddie Hearn bitch ass.
Eddie Hearn, man. Eddie
Yeah,
Hearn.
bro.
There you go.
They should have let Luis Alberto Lopez get the title shot. He would have beat the fuck out of Kiko Martinez.
I don't know. Navarrete MXI. I don't know, man. I want to see that fight. I do. I'm really. Most people seem to be picking Navarrete on that, like confidently. I don't know, man.
I would pick Navarrete, but there's certain things Navarrete does that plays into Maxayo's hands. You know, Maxayo's a better fighter when the fighter comes to him too.
I mean, Maxio looked, tremendous on this fight. I get it. The fight before on the Pac Ugas undercard, I get it. He was exciting, but he didn't look all that great.
Can say how, right?
Fight, but I don't know if it was just the style matchup with Gary Russell, being that he's smaller than him, that he was, able to look so good, or if he's just been working with Freddie Roach and getting better.
Could be a mix of both, honestly.
He seemed like a killer in that Russell fight, man, and he's big, strong.
I think it probably is both, to be honest, because he did have, like, for a portion of that fight, a compromised fighter in front of him. So
It's possible. I'd have to go back and really watch some more film on Navarrete and even Maxio. It could be just what are they recent bias.
recency bias.
Yeah, recency bias. It definitely could be.
Yeah, I need to get back into like the contenders of boxing again. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not too knowledgeable on like the setup of the boxing landscape right now. I can only like go based off of their like Maxios, right? I didn't see his last fight on that Pac Ugas card. Like, I don't remember it, but obviously I saw like basically half the fight versus Gary Russell, because during that fight, that was the UFC co-main event. I was watching back and forth, but he looked damn good, and I could see like certain technical tendencies that he did in that fight. But
his last fight before he wasn't bad. Like he dropped Seha in the first round, and then the fight was pretty tough. After that, he got dropped to the body, maxed out, but he got back up and he knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah.
He knocked him out clean, put him on a stretcher, and then he beat Gary Russell. So I think he's game, man. I think he's good, man. Yeah, man. Bro, for real, I think he had I think he knew that Gary Russell's shoulder was injured, man, because he was punching that
Yeah,
motherfucker
he
out.
aimed for it. There's a video on like social media where it like cut to him punching the shoulder and then him saying, "I was aiming for the shoulder because I knew it was messed up basically," and he was
Yeah, he
literally
did say
punching
that.
it. And then immediately after, you see the reaction of Russell where he's like, "Ah,"
Yeah.
it fucked him up, man, for sure.
Yeah, but look, man, there's a thing here. Look, when you're in the ring, you know the rumors out your shoulder. You know the rumors out about your shoulder, and you're losing the fight, and you're not feeling very confident. And then he starts punching you in the shoulder. There's a part of you that in
Plays
that range,
into it.
you can fake it just to kind of create an excuse. Because honestly, I've never, and I'm not saying it can't happen. I don't know, but I've never experienced someone like having a torn rotator cuff and someone hitting it and it hurting. I don't think you can. Like honestly, I've had it. I never felt anything. Not saying it's not possible, but it just seemed like unlikely. It's usually from stretching the tendon, not from just like poking at it. Like I've sat there and fucked with my shit the whole time. Like, damn, where is it? Because it's so deep in there. Like, I don't know, man. It seemed to me, like, I'll be honest, to me, I just thought he was faking because he figured I'm losing the fight. Let me keep creating this fucking narrative.
Yeah, Gary Russell's a damn fool, man. He talking about he won a Loma rematch. Loma destroyed him. There's no need for no rematch. He's damn sure not fighting Tank Davis. He damn sure not fighting Terrence
You don't
Crawford.
think so? You don't think
Hell
they'll
no.
fight?
Hell no, Tank would dismantle him.
Tank
No,
will
I'm
destroy
saying you don't
him.
think they'll make that fight now because, like, Tank is a fucking cherry picker, so that might still be on the table.
It'd be a good, it's a good fight to cherry pick for sure.
If he moves up. If he moves up, that's only if he does.
You see this dude in chat, Loma faked an injury as well.
Yeah, all right. He was literally in the hospital after the fight. Come on, bro.
Ignacio, come on, bro.
Ignacio's on every stream.
showed us the surgery.
He is recognized.
Surgery the day after. Where is? See, this is what I'm saying. This is another reason why I think it's bullshit. I think he had a minor little shoulder issue. And because, just punching too much, maybe tore something a little tiny bit. Nothing that's going to affect you. Because where's the proof? Where's the proof? Dude, honestly, he didn't even go to the doctors for it. Like, let's be frank. Didn't even go to the doctors for it. You spread this whole rumor. You're saying I only lost because of this so-and-so reason. And then you don't even show it? Like, prove it?
Yeah.
To me, that's bullshit. If he would have proved it, I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm wrong. But I mean, dude, when you lose, you're going to create excuses when you're, a bitch. Like, I'll just say it like it is, man. If you're a man's man, you're not going to make an excuse. You're going to say, I lost to a better man. Props. But when you're one of these fucking punks who your whole, like, reputation, it really relies on being the baddest man. It's not like just some job like these other dudes do. Like, these other guys, like, don't care. They want to win, but if they lose, they just keep it pushing. When you start making excuses, there's reasons you lost the fight, and there's excuses. He's not talking about a reason. Like he could have actually made a legit argument, like, "Hey, man, I wasn't at my best," type thing. Wasn't that bad, but it was enough. Just something. But just the way you come out, like, I won. First of all, saying you won, and then still talking about a shoulder injury. But wait, you won. So what are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, those statements aren't like in direct, conflict with each other. So it's just that he was delusional because you could win a fight, get robbed, and then also have an injury like that.
Absolutely. Yep.
It's just what he said was asinine. 10-2. That's completely absurd.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. At some point, you got to be humble, man. And he's just not a humble guy, man. You know what I'm saying? He was doing the same shit when Loma beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? Coming up with excuses. That's just what he does, man.
And if the difference is Lomachenko, if when you hear him talk about his fight with Lopez, he's been saying the Lopez that beat him. This is what he says, right? Look how he phrases it. The Loma that beat him. I mean, the Lopez that beat him would have beaten Kambosos. So there's an admission. Like he's like, hey, listen, all right, the decision was he won the fight. So I'm saying that guy beats Kambosos. But he's not making any excuses. It is what it is. His shoulder was fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Loma gave Tio all the credit in the world, man. You know what I'm saying? The dudes at ESPN, they interviewed Loma. They asked him, it was like, "Are you happy that Tiafimo lost?" He said, "No, man." He said, "I'm not happy that he lost." He said, "I lost too. Now he knows how it feels. I know how it feels." You know what I'm saying? That's basically what he was saying.
Yeah, and we'll get to see how
Loma's a
the
real
kid
one,
can come
man.
back too.
Loma ain't no fucking punk, man. He gonna respect you, man. He got
Yeah, like
respect for everybody.
that's what that comment's such bullshit. He made excuses. He never ever made an excuse. Like we people in this community gave reasons why he lost. He didn't make no fucking excuses.
Yeah.
And
Did
let's
he
be
get
real
surgery
here.
like that
He made
Monday?
excuses for him. Maybe you could say that. I still think I'm just saying the reasons he lost or didn't get.
And did he get surgery that Monday?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
immediately after.
And
like
right
he didn't
after the
say
fight.
it like, "Oh, I'm getting surgery after the fight." He just said, I thought I won. I didn't like the decision, but it is what it is. It was a good fight. Whatever.
Yep.
I mean, let's be real here. The difference between like an excuse and like a reason, if it's totally legit, it's really just like timing. Because if you say some shit like immediately after like the
Yeah.
decision, it's like, come on, dude. Like you just wait like literally like 3 days and then be like, yeah, I had an injury. Like I'm not gonna complain. It's just
Look
like
at
manners, you know?
Yeah, look at Lomo when he was walking back to the locker room. He didn't say shit. He's just like, oh, I gotta watch the tape, so on. Kept it pushing. The only reason that chick even went after him and asked is because we were all the boxing world was all talking about it, and he didn't like give an excuse. He was just like, yeah, shoulder was hurt, had surgery, but like that's it. Just stated the facts, quite honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't get how you can literally be like in a hospital. It's one thing if like you post like Errol Spence, right? Like he randomly just has a fucking eye patch and like it's just like it's this shitty angle where you don't even see it fully. But when you're in like a hospital bed, you're in the full gown, you got like fucking like tubing in you and shit. Like, come on, dude. With Pacquiao, Loma, they both had pictures like that. Then they had like X-rays, I'm pretty sure, or at least Pacquiao did. And then you see scarring too a little after. It's like, how much are you gonna fake? You know?
Yeah, you're not gonna have someone cut into your shoulder to make an excuse.
You don't even need to go that deep. Well, it's like you don't need to say look and be specific about what you hurt. Like a torn rotator cuff is super specific, you know?
Yeah, and it's common.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, I got like a strain or I pulled a muscle, like
And you
something
want to talk about
really obscure.
excuses? He didn't bring shit up before the fight. The only reason Gary brought that up is because he didn't think he had a good chance. He didn't like
Yeah.
the fight. As soon as it got close, he started getting shook. Look, you have another hand. Why didn't he even try to win the fight? The dude only tried to survive. Why didn't he just take the fight to him for a round and see what happens? Even the last round. All he was worried about was I might get knocked out. That's it. He felt some power and was like, shit.
I mean, it's also like bullshit that he even like comes out and says that. Like, imagine if you already placed a bet, right? And for some reason you can't take it back. Like, you were just sold like a false idea that this dude is like, oh yeah, he's coming on this comeback fight. He's gonna fight Tank and Loma. He's re-motivated. He's gonna have more fights this year.
And
And
then
all of
don't
a sudden
even
it's
really
like, oh,
try.
I hurt my shoulder
Yeah,
and I'm not feeling good.
talks all this shit about a comeback tour, 3 fights, Tank, just like you said. Then doesn't even try. Like, let's be honest,
Yeah.
just trying to survive. Maybe a lucky shot. That's really it.
Like if this shoulder injury is real, postpone the fight. Like
Yep.
it's not
Yeah.
that hard.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
neither
no
here.
commission will allow you to fight if you tell them like my arm's done. They're just not going to pass a physical. So Loma had to not state how bad it really was.
This Ignacio dude, either he's like just a troll or like a Mexican nationalist, because this dude also said that Valdez clearly won versus Conceição.
Yeah, he just supports the Mexicans more than
Yeah. He calls Valdez the king of the favela.
But if he believes that, for real, I mean, come on and explain. I'd love to hear the case.
Man, Conceição beat Valdez, man. I rewatched the fight this morning.
Humiliated, dude.
I rewatched the fight this morning. I had an 8-4, man. He beat him, man. For sure.
That's what I had it too.
Yeah, he beat him.
That's my second time watching it. Really?
Yeah, that was my second time watching it. I had the same score last time as well. It didn't change.
Did you watch it with commentary?
Nah, I had that shit off.
On the night of the fight, I think that's what I had it too. I'm not sure.
Really?
I had it 10-2. Honestly, I might have had it 10-2.
I had it 10-2. 11.
I might have had it. I just know he fucking dominated. There's no chance he won.
Yeah, Valdez didn't win. I think Valdez, he won a little bit of later rounds. I think like the 10th, 11th. He hit him with some good body shots. Conceição slowed down a little bit, but he won the fight, man.
He won most of those the 12th, but besides that, like that whole like I don't know. I personally didn't see it. This whole like slowing down thing, because like I immediately after that fight, right, I was like, I'm doing a punch count. We got a replay of it. And I looked at the punch stats. I'm like, dude, the punch count didn't dip. You know what I mean? At least the landed punches. Maybe the output did. But of landed punches, like he was landing like double or triple in every single round. It was insane. Like it was the widest punch count I've ever done. Like since I began with I think Pac Ugas.
Yeah,
or some other fight. Yeah, it was the most. It was like. It was a lopsided beating, even in like the rounds where he got rocked, and then in the 12th when he took off the round, he still outlanded him like substantially. It was insane.
Yeah, y'all watch Conceição last fight against that Martinez dude?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he just fought.
Yeah,
he did pretty well.
He's the baddest 130 pounder. There's no doubt about it,
bro. That's what I'm telling people.
No
man.
doubt about it. Nobody's beating him. Nobody.
I'm telling people he's good, man.
Like I said this earlier, you might have been here, but Shakur's like speed ain't beating this dude. This dude got it all, and he's a fucking man. Shakur's a boy. This dude's a man. Like it's a little speed. He saw that his whole amateur career. Like, dude's a fucking better amateur than Shakur, first of all, and that's how he fights. He's still in that amateur type mode, unless he's fighting a tomato can. When he fights this guy, he's gonna try and poke and run. This guy's gonna walk him down and demolish him.
Yeah, man. And Valdez, Conceição hits a lot harder when people think. Valdez said it himself. He said he hits pretty hard. Ask Valdez, look at his fucking face.
Would you see that last fight? It was like he was throwing with everything on every punch. Like every punch had bad intentions. Yeah.
And it speaks volumes about Martinez's chin, because he rocked Valdez multiple times in that fight. Martinez, at least the rounds I saw, he didn't get rocked once, and he was
not noticeable.
No, Martinez ate the punches. He did well.
Yeah. He's a big, strong dude too. I'd like to see Shakur fight him.
I was thinking that
speed, he might be able to poke and run to a decision. I don't know though, man. This dude's strong. Like him and Canseco, I said this. It reminded me of Golovkin Canelo too. Like they went to war those first 6 rounds, but Canseco broke them. Like. Yeah, Canseco broke. Martinez didn't break Canseco. Martinez got broke and then was just like a broken fighter. You saw the desire leave his eyes.
He knew he lost. Yeah, he knew he lost at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, really what we should have been seeing that night was Oscar versus Martinez. Because that's where we would have been. Robson would have been champ, setting up the fight with Shakur, or Shakur would have just ducked him. Let's be real here. And then Oscar would be on the trying to get the rematch with Robson, I'm sure, to get the belt back to set up that Shakur fight. And he would be fighting Martinez. And to be honest, Martinez probably would have that would have been a war. and I'm not sure if his chin would have handled it, because I think Martinez's chin would handle Valdez. I'm gonna be real here.
I mean, let's be real. Conseco even has the best resume. You know what I mean? Like he really does. At 130, you know, he
This dude
beat
just
Valdez, who people
this
call
dude
the
is saying
man.
all sorts of shit in
He
here,
beat
man.
Martinez.
Ignacio, do you just
Fugazi
live
was
to
the champ.
troll people, man? Like he's saying Ugas schooled Pacquiao. Dude, 8-4 is not a schooling, first of all. But anyways, he also said that Robson lost to Valdez. Uh fucking Salido beat Loma. Loma lost to Tio. Like, dude, come on, man. People can never take shit seriously. I swear to God.
Yeah, it didn't hurt Lomachenko. That's how good he is, right? He got an official loss to Salido. Still
Yeah,
didn't do anything to him.
you got that right.
Same
Dealing with
thing
some
with
Salido,
the
like,
Lopez, with Lopez getting the decision over Lomachenko. Look at his last two fights; he looks fine.
Yeah,
man with the
and
Martinez
then
fight, man.
look at Tio.
Martinez was pissing
Exactly.
me off though. I had
Lomez took that dude's heart. I never seen someone lose their fucking spirit with a win.
yeah. Look, I had Conceição beating Martinez. I picked him to win, but Martinez was pissing me off, man. I thought he was gonna be more game than that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he could have
I
pressured
think Conceição just beat it
Conceição a
out
little
of
bit.
him at a certain point.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. He definitely did, but
He looked
but
game, like
I feel
Ant
like
was saying, for like the
he could have
first,
done more.
what was it, 6 rounds? Then like you could see him that being chipped away from him from just the activity, man, from fucking Conceição, man. He's just, you hit him, he hits you twice.
and hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I mean, you can go back and watch the live even. I was worried for Conseco because I actually wanted him to win in this fight because I thought he deserved it due to his last fucking robbery. Um, thought he deserves to get that rematch, and if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. But um, I was worried for him. I mean, I really was. Martinez was in fantastic shape, big, strong, great jab. Hits really hard. He took everything that dude had to offer and some. Broke the dude. You know,
Yeah,
undefeated guy. Broke him. Dude
he
just
was the
sat.
underdog too, man. Yeah,
Humiliated
he was
Valdez.
really
Like,
the
no one's
underdog,
beating this guy. No
and I
one.
don't know why he was the underdog. That's what I'm saying. People
Dude, we
sleeping
talked
on him,
about that
bro.
the whole live. It didn't make any
People
sense.
sleeping on him.
We figured that, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's highly doubtful that the bookmakers actually thought that. I get it. A lot of Mexican money on Martinez might sway the odds, but you know, they're really always looking to protect themselves. It was maybe that they knew, Aram didn't want Conseco to win or something. But I mean, he beat the kid so bad, you really couldn't. I mean, I gave Martinez 1 round, I believe. 1 round.
Yeah, I think I gave him round 3, and I think that was it.
I think that's the only round. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I basically
because
had the
this,
same card Andre Ward did after 6. Same round. Same
yeah,
card.
because that's when
And that's what he did. He
Conceição
gave
got
him that
hit in
one
the
round.
temple. Yeah, that's when Conceição got rocked. His leg shaked up a little bit, but after that, no, he just beat his ass. After that, he was letting him get off first. I think their game plan was trying to let Conceição gas, but he wasn't gonna gas. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Now, in the Valdez fight, Valdez showed a little bit of pressure, so he went to the body, and also that was a 12-round fight.
I
So
thought that
this time around,
I
Conceição
was
didn't
worried
gas.
about that too. I thought Martinez might be able to take what he got for say like 6 rounds, and because Conseco was just swinging for the fences, every punch had bad intentions. That takes a lot of energy. I
Yeah,
was
it
worried
does.
he might gas too. I even said that, but boy, he didn't, man.
He did
He
it.
could have fought for 15 easy,
Yeah, he could have. He could have.
easy. Dude, he was basically the same in 12 that he was in fucking 3.
Yeah, he
So what
was.
was your scorecard? What was the proper scorecard,
I
Ignacio?
mean, give wait, what? Which fight? Conseco, that dude? I had him winning 11 rounds.
No, he's talking about. Yeah, he's talking about Conceição versus Martinez. Yeah, Martinez only won
Yeah,
one round, bro.
I gave Martinez 1 round. So so did Andre Ward. 1 round.
He's saying that because we disagreed with Ward's scores during the Conceição Valdez. That's why he's saying that shit. Bro, the reason why Ward's card doesn't matter is because there was no
He works for
politics
Top
in that
Rank.
fight. Yeah, there was no politics in that fight.
There was so many politics going into that fight, dude.
Oh yeah,
They put it this way: Ward knows if he ever comes back, he has to juice to do it. So that's why he was, dude. What fighter's gonna like fight for a guy who just got caught using PEDs? Like, cause look, let's pretend it was an accident. Okay, but we don't know that for sure.
Stop cucking for black fighters. This fucking you just simped for fucking Ugas versus Pacquiao. So who's really cucking for fucking black fighters?
Dude, no one's cucking for black. No one's cucking for any fighters. Looks like, I mean,
Exactly.
you are. Bro.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
He's just a delusional Mexican nationalist. That's literally all he is.
We got Thurman versus
He's
Barrios
probably
this
like
weekend.
a liberal type dude. You know what I mean?
Thurman versus
don't know.
Barrios this weekend, and then we got Quadros
Yeah,
versus
dude, this fight is packed this week.
Quadros versus Bam Rodriguez. That's a good fight too.
Got Eubank, that Liam Smith dude.
Yeah, Eubank, Liam
Uber
Smith. That's
fought
gonna
in the
be a war.
daytime. That'll be on in the daytime.
Yeah, that's gonna be a war. That's gonna be
There's
a
like
war.
5 or 6 fights. There's the Japanese dudes fighting.
What do you guys think about Martinez being a fill-in for Estrada? He's going to fight Chocolatito.
Man, that's a good ass fight, man.
Yeah,
That's a dangerous fight for.
scared from that fight, bro.
I
Yes,
still
it
think
is.
I still think Roman's good enough to piece him up, especially towards the ending of that fight. I think it's going to be real tough for Martinez,
Yeah.
but that is a dangerous fight for him, man.
Oh, for sure. Dude, any fight is dangerous when you have a month left. Because let's be real, the last week you're not doing shit. Just staying where you were. The second to last week, I mean, you're kind of winding down to make sure you're peaked and then hold it. I mean, you got like two good weeks to prepare for this guy. That's not much.
Yeah,
And who knows? This dude might have been on the back burner just in case somebody got injured or something the whole time.
well, he might also like.
Or it might be another Ugas type situation.
that
Yeah,
could definitely be
and
the
that's what
case.
people saying. That's what people saying. They saying this is gonna be a setup.
Yeah, we were
But-
saying that too. It seems like it.
If it is like a 2-week last minute replacement, right? It could be like he might expend all his energy in those early rounds, so it could be very dangerous for Chocolatito.
Chocolatito just needs to keep his defense on point and work that body.
Yeah,
Work the body. I mean, his body attack is second to none. He got like the perfect build for them lower divisions. Perfect size arms. He can just tink, 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 tink. And he hits hard with short shots. So, yeah. It's dangerous, though. I don't like these type of fights. I mean,
that's a
if
dangerous
I was
fight,
Roman,
man.
I would have straight up pulled out. Been like, fuck you. I'll be ready when he's ready. They're trying
What's up with
trying
other
to get
Spanish
Roman
dudes?
just out of the way.
What's
They
up with
have
Spanish
been
boxing
the whole
fans
career.
that hate Chocolatito, man? What's going on with that?
I have no clue.
The Mexicans hate him for some reason. I don't know why. Not all of them. I ain't saying all of them.
Yeah, I remember when they loved Manny Pacquiao just because the way he fights. But it's like, then how don't you love Roman for the way he fights? Like, he fights like we wish every fighter would fight. And his
Yeah,
don't
skills
back
are
down
just-
from
it ain't even
nobody.
just that too. It's he got the heart. He's an attacker, a knockout artist, and he got the skills, the sweet science skills. Everyone should be watching this guy and studying him.
yeah, man. He's the best inside fighter in boxing, man.
Yeah,
Hands down. That's what I've always said. That man. He's like a
that
mini
is the real
mini
sweet science.
Roberto Duran, man. He's like
Yes,
a
exactly.
flyweight Duran.
Bingo. And
Yeah, man.
inside fighting is the sweet science. Inside the mid range. That if you're great there, then you're great. I mean, great on the outside, that just means you're an okay fighter to me, honestly. Because that ain't shit.
wasn't Roman trained with what's his name?
Alexis
Leo?
Arroyo.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a little while there.
That was like his hero, right?
Yep. basically brought him into the game.
That's a great mentor to have in your
that's a great mentor for sure.
So he was a teenager when he knew Aguayo.
But it wouldn't have been during his career, would it? Right?
No,
I don't
because
believe so. Maybe
he was
early.
he was killed already.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he was.
So he was like a kid when he saw him.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, Aguayo was dead already.
Wait, so then how did he meet him?
No, I believe he met him.
No, he met him, but like,
But during the career, he was a kid.
Yeah,
during his career,
he like just brought him into boxing, and then he saw his career, loved it, followed it, and then wanted to emulate it, which he actually has perfectly.
Gotcha.
He has emulated it. Dude, they're basically the identical careers. It's crazy. You go up, you crush all the best guys in every division. You keep moving up, and in your fourth is where you encounter trouble. Exact same situation, dude. Totally.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good fight though, man. But I think Chocolatito can win. The experience is on his side, and the skill set as well. You know what I'm saying? Martinez likes to come in swinging for the fences, but he's tough though, man. He's young, he's fast, and he's willing to give one to take one, man. He will get dropped, man. He will get the fuck back up. He's tough, man. He's very tough dude. It's gonna be a good fight, man.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait for this one. This fight, I'm excited for it. This one, Valdez Shakur and Usyk AJ rematch. Those are the fights I'm most excited for right now. Also, Loma Kambosos. Yo, word on the street, man. They said David Haney outpriced himself, asking for $9 million, $8 million to fight Kambosos.
Figures.
That's
I do go back. I'm on record saying when the fight don't happen, it'll be because Devin Haney priced himself out. Straight up. It's the modern way of ducking a fight.
Now they're saying
it's for undisputed. That's your whole supposed goal. And you said the guy's a bum.
Yeah.
What's the problem? You know what I mean? $9 million. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, he's never even made that his whole career.
Yeah. I told you, man. Dude will never take a real fight. Why would you take a tough fight when you can lose your O and then literally make like $300,000? Or you can just keep fucking cherry picking for $3 million. I mean,
they pay too much
on here. That's why I have so much confidence in saying, dude ain't taking no real fights. You're crazy.
These people need to be paid like fucking nothing at this point. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Speaking about money, though, did you hear Keith Thurman defend the pay-per-view price? He said Bubblegum ain't 25 cents no more. That's what he said.
Yeah, Thurman still thinks he's a big draw, but he's not.
Yeah, he does. And he's really never a big draw, like big money draw, unless he had like a big name with him.
Nah, he wasn't a big draw, but at some point earlier on his career, he was a good name. His name was buzzing around.
Besides Pacquiao, what other pay-per-views were there?
Well, like Garcia and Porter. I mean, like when you have the two bigger PBC
was Porter
names,
a pay-per-view though?
I don't know.
Nah, I don't think it was.
Was Garcia? I thought
I don't know either. I only because I was actually like, speaking about pay-per-views, I
don't buy them, so I literally do not know.
Oh yeah, but I was comparing Bud's pay-per-view career to Errol Spence's because we were talking about like the splits, right? Like 60-40, like that's ridiculous because they both had 3 pay-per-views, right? 2 of Errol's pay-per-views have sold individually more than all of Bud's combined.
There's no dude, when Errol says 60-40 ain't enough, that's a duck. That's a duck. Because what he's saying, like just what you said, when you look at the actual eyeballs, the interest in fighters, Errol demolishes them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. It'd be like fucking.
So Crawford shouldn't be asking for that.
It'd be like Francois Botha or someone 50% for the Tyson fight. Like it ain't happening, my man. No one fucking watches you. This guy's the draw, and Spence, for whatever reason, he is the draw. You're not.
Yeah. I mean, in the third one, right, that didn't sell more, Bud's whole pay-per-view career only sold like 80,000 more pay-per-views. Like it's 330 or 325 versus like 240. and that was Danny Garcia and Errol Spence. That only sold like 200,000, like the mid 200,000s. Bud's whole pay-per-view career, it's only like 325. It's embarrassing, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man. And now they're saying Cambosis Haney not in negotiations right now. That's what they're saying. They're not even talking no more. So Loma might get the shot. It's
Yeah,
looking
that's what
like
I was saying earlier. 150. Now that I
Seems
look
like
at
Loma
things,
is.
it look like
Unless
Loma.
Lomachenko might get
Cambosos
that.
don't want it.
Lomachenko might get that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless Cambosos don't want it, it looks like that's what's going to happen.
They was talking
Because
about
Loma's
Ryan
gonna
Garcia.
go. He's gonna go to. He's gonna go over there. He doesn't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Top Ring gonna pay the money, man. They got the money, man. They're gonna drop that shit.
And they'll be
Yeah,
fair too.
Yeah. And they was talking about Garcia getting the fight. I don't know why he's getting in the mix, but they was talking about him getting the fight. I think Cambosa is just looking to cash out. He's just looking for a big payday, man. You know what I'm saying?
I
But I
think he
think
gave
Cambosa.
his everything for that fight against Lopez with Lopez and said the next fight is a cash out fight. Fuck it.
But I do think Cambosa is his game, though. I don't think he's a duck. I think he'll
Nah,
fight.
he'll fight.
Yeah,
He'll fight,
he'll
bro.
fight anybody. Yeah, he's not a duck, man. I got respect for him, though.
And people don't. I hear people and I'm like, you fucking crazy, man. You guys are not boxing fans. They're like, if Loma gets this fight, I'm gonna be pissed. He should step. What do you mean step away? The fuck are you talking about? If the fight comes his way and it's offered to him, and they're like, we just need you to sign on the dotted line, and everything is like right, why wouldn't he take it? Are you fucking insane? Of course he's gonna take that fight.
Yeah,
That's
man,
not
exactly, man.
that's
It's
not
all
cutting nobody's throat. That's just called look. You guys worked out a negotiation. It didn't work out. They came to me. We made it happen.
Exactly. I
yeah.
mean, really, the only types that want to see Haney are like the LDVC types. So, like, all the rest of the boxing public prefers the Lomachenko fight. Like, let's be real here. This whole like undisputed talk. I mean, didn't the WBC just basically confirm that whole like the what's it called, the fucking franchise title means something actually? So he is
Look.
undisputed.
Let's be honest, right? Mauricio Suleiman, whatever the fuck his name is, he's a piece of he's a piece of shit. He's talking out of both sides of his faces. Like you could just
Sure.
listen to him. Well, I'm not saying the WBC regular is nothing. It's it's the regular, but the franchise is. It's like, dude, just say I'm not interested in your politics. The WBC franchise is what it is. It's called franchise. It means you're elevated, and when you're elevated, you're higher than. That's it.
Bingo.
But he's like trying to be nice to everyone. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, man. Just don't say anything.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. This undisputed shit is so retarded, man. Like he's calling Haney the world champion. Haney has 4 title defenses. He's still defending the title. But the whole time they're calling Cambosis undisputed. Doesn't make sense, man.
Ignacio, your troll game is getting weak, bro. Come on. All right. Everything I say, you have to comment like opposite of that. It's just you're becoming obvious now.
Yeah, man. In order to be undisputed, you got to beat all the guys that hold the titles, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's how it goes. But this franchise title's in the way, so fucks everything
Look,
up.
the franchise is. I don't see. Haney as a champion. He's not. He didn't win it in no traditional way. It's just politics, right? They should never have this franchise shit. None of that stuff should even exist, right? So for me, it's pretty simple. Teofimo Lopez was the man, and Cambosos took that away from him. Cambosos is the man at 135 pounds. Whether we think he can't be Loma or Haney, that doesn't matter. They haven't fought yet,
Yeah.
right? But as of now, he's the man. I don't view Haney as the man. He never comes to my head and be like, you know, there's an argument for Haney, and like, no, it doesn't happen that way. Haney didn't beat anybody for that belt. No one.
Yeah.
He's just a contender.
I mean, at most, even
Absolutely.
at most, if you want to be pro Haney, he's just a title holder. He's not
Yeah.
the champ. He's not the champ. There's a difference between a titleist and the champ. Haney is not a champ. He didn't beat any man to become the man
Exactly.
of any organization. So he in a lot of ways he's like a non-factor in my opinion. I really don't care about Haney, man.
Yeah.
Now, if he gets the fight and he wins, then I'll say he's the man. You
Yeah.
know.
Of course, you have to. I mean, we said the same thing about Kambosos. I
Yep.
still don't have a high opinion about him, even though he beat T.O. I mean, literally all he did was like spam the left hand to set up the right. That was it. And T.O. couldn't beat that. So I it, it's a fairly easy fight, even if that quote unquote undisputed fight gets made. I mean, Kambosos isn't like super good, you know what I mean? Like he ain't. I don't see him ever being on pound for pound, even if he like continues to win, unless he beats like Loma. I don't see him as being like a pound for pound fighter.
Yeah.
I agree, man. I think this is just a one and done type of thing. Whoever gets the fight probably gonna take him out.
Yeah. Listen. I think he, like you said, 150. I think he's game. Once the fight is on, he's gonna bring his A game to try to beat you. You know, it's a lot of fast punching. It's a lot of grinding it out. You know,
Yeah.
but I think that he more likely loses. I like his shot better against Haney. I'll be honest with you on that. I do like his shot better against Haney. Uh, I think that he gives Lomachenko a really good fight. You know, I think that it ends pretty bad for him in the end. But you know, make these fights happen. If Haney's really about that life, bro, he will understand that. He will understand. Look, I'm gonna take this amount of money, right, so that I can be the champion at 135 pounds. You know, so I could be the man and then demand more money,
But
especially
look,
if I look good
this
beating.
is how they're looking at it. They can look at it like we already have one belt to make a claim. We can use the argument, we're just not getting our worth. We're being looked over. We're being avoided, and keep making 3 mil rather than lose. We can keep making the argument that, oh, we want it. We're so devastating. People are scared of us. And keep making money. But if you fight this guy and lose, then it's over, man.
A lot of these guys don't want to lose, Anthony, because they really don't bring nothing to the entertainment of boxing
Yeah.
outside of that zero.
Yep. That's it. Exactly.
It
You
it's
see, like a
that.
Lomachenko could lose a fight, but he's going to be good because his skills is like, top notch. And then on top of that, he makes for exciting fights because he fights good fighters.
Yeah. Well, it's also like the let's be real here, right? The black community, it does sort of like drop you after you get that first L. It's not the same after you get the zero now. It's a shame, but it's just it is what it is. Like a lot of the hype behind a lot of these like American black fighters is because they are undefeated. And they lose a lot of luster after that first loss. Like it, it sucks, but it is what it is, man. And so they do have to protect it to keep that contingent of fans. Because if they get that one, it's like basically slashed in half immediately.
These dudes are just thinking they're going to beat Mayweather one day. It's like, dude, that's not going to happen, man. I don't know how to tell you, but like, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror. Do you see Floyd Mayweather? I was just telling you that. Do you see him?
That's it.
Like, no, you're
Exactly.
not. It's not going to happen for you, bro. That was a different time. You don't even have his charisma. Even if you think it's bullshit, you don't even have that bullshit charisma. You don't have it. When I look at Haney, no, I don't think about Floyd Mayweather. Absolutely not. No. I think that he would have been Floyd's sparring partner. You know, probably give him some good rounds, but like that you were a runner up to be as good as him? Hell no.
That's exactly it.
Maybe it's Shakur Stevenson, and even him is like, yeah, you're all right, man.
I see
You're
more
pretty good.
Mayweather and Shakur. Actually, way more Mayweather. Damn, I can't even talk. Mayweather and Shakur.
Right, but even go
And
look at
he's not
Floyd.
even
Floyd was
Mayweather
way
either.
more sharper than he was.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one will ever be like Mayweather, but I don't see Mayweather and Haney at all. I don't see that comparison. I think Haney's just Haney. You know
And
what I'm
none of
saying?
these guys are close. And it takes even more than skills. It takes the ability to really understand who you can defeat, who you can't.
Exactly, yeah.
Have to have you have to generate enough money to where people are going to agree to give you favoritism in fights, like, wearing your gloves or whatever ring size, whatever issues they want. The judges on their side, they're going to have to agree to this because of the money that they're going to get. And none of these guys are that. They never really will be. They also have to have a good chin to fucking survive. They're going to be getting cracked. It's not there.
A lot
Yeah,
of
that's true.
the matchmaking, they basically offload it to Heyman, but Heyman don't give a shit. So
No.
they end up just facing like the same bums back to back to back. And to be
Yeah,
honest, man,
they don't really know who they can and can't beat. Their trainers and matchmakers
exactly.
tell them that. Floyd himself understood this, so
Yep.
he could pick who he liked.
But even then, he had an advantage of like just a better time of like braver men. See, like now, right? He's a promoter, and look at Tank. He's fighting just endless bums. There is no good matchmaking over there. And Tank is being basically led by Mayweather, and Mayweather's decision making isn't great. So he isn't even that wise in the grand scheme of things. If you really think about it, it's just Floyd was in a great time to take advantage of the sport.
Yeah. And I think Mayweather doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand how he
He
got
thinks he's a
there.
genius, yeah,
Yeah.
but he's
He
not.
thinks he's a genius, but he's not. It's like, no, you were a genius for yourself. Like for your own personal being, and you were, like you said,
Lucky.
you were at a time where guys were a little bit more braver than today, and fighting you.
Yeah, Floyd came up in that brave era and then
Yeah.
kind of started to change it with the upcoming fighters. But
Yep.
now all these guys are chicken shits.
Right, because like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney shouldn't even be thinking about their undefeated record.
Exactly. You
That's
can't
not-
have 20 fucking guys spread throughout boxing all trying to be the undefeated guy.
Yeah.
Like to be Floyd, because then none of them are going to fight.
Right. It's like with the whole Andrade Charlo argument. I'm like, I can end this argument real quick. Both guys came up at the same time, same weight, over 30, and they're both undefeated. What's wrong with that picture? How is it that both guys are undefeated? Same weight, same time, same age. They haven't fought.
Yeah.
It's not a good. It's not a good statement to make.
I give Shakur some credit. At least he trying to fight Valdez and unify. These other guys at 35 ain't doing shit. Loma
Whenever I
doing
hear-
everything. Isaac Cruz is this dude. Isaac Cruz, no one knew who the fuck he was. Now this dude's coming out of nowhere.
And that's how
You know
you
what I'm
do it. You got to take a good
Cambosis
fight
took
and
over.
win. Then all of a sudden you're something.
Yeah, man. Cambosis took over. You know what I'm saying? This shit changed, man. A lot of shit has changed.
I
When
mean,
hear
like,
a fighter say, "I'm following Floyd," or "Floyd showed us how," all that means is you're pussy. That's all that tells me. You don't want to fight. You're pussy. You're trying to basically steal from the fans. That's all it tells me.
Yeah.
Not supporting you. If you don't ever mention him or just be like, "Yeah, he's all right," that'll support you. When one of these dudes talking about Floyd showed us Floyd, but get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
All that
But,
means
like-
is you don't want to fucking prove you're the best. You're just here to steal money. cherry pick and try to get rich.
But what you said about like taking the big fight like as a B side, right? Like nowadays, you unless you knock the dude out, you basically can't win. So it's like there's understandable like fear, not necessarily of the man, but just the politics fucking you over. So it's
Yeah,
like,
I
why
feel
would
you.
I even risk that if I'm like 13-0, right? And I do want to become great, but I know I can easily get fucked over. I get a one, instantly, like my marketability is slashed, all just because I took a chance and they screwed me over. Like, what's the point? I could just go up the normal way like everyone else. You get cherry picks endlessly, and then maybe get a big fight one day, and then retire like after a few more cherry picks, where I get some more money, and then it's over. Like greatness nowadays, it's hard to achieve because you get fucked over for going after that. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
it's terrible.
Yep. Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen guys go for greatness and they get the short end of the stick. I mean, Triple G comes to mind.
Yep.
They give him the
Went to
short end of the
beat
stick.
one of the so-called stars, does it, but gets fucked. Kovalev goes to beat one of the stars, does it.
Yep, Kovalev's another one. Yep.
Crazy, man. And it happens all the time. Isaac Cruz goes to beat one of the stars, does it, gets fucked. It's pathetic, man. But then still, there'll be them guys on here recognize, gotta support boxing.
Like you gotta support
Why?
it, no matter
Gotta
what. And shut the
support
fuck
it.
up. Like you
Why?
support
You're
it.
supporting everything that's wrong, is what you're doing. Because right now, this is the most, dude. People talk about like, oh, in the '40s it was so corrupt. You have Frankie Carbo and Blinky Palermo, dude. That wasn't shit compared to now. Dude, they had a fixed fight like every fucking 5 months.
Yeah.
It's nothing. They'd make a guy fixed dive once. Once. You owe us one favor. That was their thing. You owe us one favor.
Yep. Yep. Uh, what was it? Jake LaMotta, right? Jake LaMotta.
One
Oh,
favor.
they said, look, we need you to take this dive against this really like nobody, and we'll get you a title shot against
And you can do whatever you
the
want in the title
champion.
fight. That's all you.
Yeah. We just
Now
need
you'll
you.
see a dude have fucking dude robberies early and just robbery. Every big fight's a fucking robbery, dude. It's insane.
Yeah.
Or an attempted. Look at even Magsayo beat the shit out of Russell. They almost tried. They almost robbed him.
I'm like, dude, man, I'm sorry, I could barely give that man 2 fucking rounds, maybe 3. That's about it. He wasn't doing anything to, like, you just go look at those rounds. Go look at them. Don't have a judgment. Just look at the rounds and tell me he made it easy for you to give him fucking more than 2 or 3 rounds.
Man, Gary Russell is an idiot, man.
Gary Russell wasn't in it to really win the fight. He was trying to sell you that he's fighting the fight. Look, this happens when you're like, especially like a guy like Gary Russell, who's like fighting every year, and then he even cut that out, and it's like once every 2 years now. So
Yeah, he's wasted potential, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is the same thing that can happen to Thurman. I'm not saying Boris will beat him, but
wouldn't
as
be
far
surprised, right?
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because Thurman been out of the ring for almost 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
and he's
he
hella
lost. He
injury
lost
prone.
his last fight was in. Check this out. His last fight, 150, was in July of 2019 against Pacquiao. That was his last
Yep.
fight.
And Pacquiao's retired now. Ain't that crazy?
Yep.
It's crazy, man. And Pac-Man's
The
retired.
sad thing is, most of these guys are wasted potential. The actual
That's
majority.
true. That's true,
Because
man.
the 2 fights a year versus nobodies for 4 years, you know how much fucking money and potential you just wasted? Their skills aren't developing because they don't have to. They just got to stay in decent shape. You're going to go fight a nobody. You'll knock them over. You'll not actually get better. All these guys are fucking wasted potential. The majority of them, at least Americans. And then A lot of the Eastern Euros even are wasted potential due to we don't actually get to see what their whole careers could have been had they been treated properly. Canelo would still be the undefeated fucking longest reigning middleweight champ, or Golovkin longest reigning undefeated middleweight champ of all time. Complete unbelievable records, once in a lifetime type records. Nope, taken from him.
He still has a pretty great accomplishment, right? Like he had like the most
He still has it, but it
title
could be
defense.
longer and undefeated.
Yep.
He still has the longest reigning middleweight champ, but
Yep.
not at undefeated. Still undefeated. He could have retired undefeated, longest reigning middleweight champ of all time. Think about it. Taken from him.
But the script was in to make
a fight he clearly won.
The script was in to make Canelo a star. I mean, look.
Remember when fuckface Eric Gomez walks up to Abel Sanchez and goes, "It's better for the sport." This is before it was even announced. It's better for the sport.
Yes. Yeah. And even Triple G was like, okay. The second fight, he was a little pissed because he's like, man, y'all fucked me over, right? Like, I beat him in the first fight. The fight was a little closer. I'm still doing my thing, and you guys are going to give it to him? Fuck you. All right, so he had that fuck you attitude, right? I get it. But even if you look at Triple G in the first fight, it's like, I sunned this dude. I mean, I beat him. All right, so what's the worst that could happen? We're going to get a rematch, and I'm going to get a lot more money again?
Exactly. And I'll still be undefeated.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope. They just told him, juice up all you can. Take everything you can. Survive. That's all you got to do is survive.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And he fought good. I won't take that away from him. He fought good. But he fought always, to me, he was in second place.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
That's not going to be in the record books, right? But educated, if you're really a boxing fan and you lived in that time, you can say, form your own decision. I'm not saying.
Look at Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Dude should be easily worldwide recognized as the greatest fighter who's ever lived. Dude, Floyd did nothing, and people call him the greatest fighter who ever lived. Think about it. It's a joke. He wasn't even the best fighter of his era.
Nah, Floyd was just interested in making money. That's it, man.
Great PR.
Yeah.
But when it really comes down to it, what the fuck?
Yeah, he exploited the game of boxing, man.
Yeah. And
he said it too, man. He said it. He's like, I don't really care about the legacy part. Like that part doesn't even.
Yeah, Mayweather's
he fought that way too. You could tell he fought that way.
Yeah, he said legacy can't feed your kids. He also said that he's a legalized bank robber, which means that he's putting out bullshit and y'all consume that shit. Everyone else buys it, watch it, and in the end, we know what the fuck happens, bro.
And I still give Floyd credit because
Mayweather coming out with a W. Mayweather coming out.
I still give Floyd credit because I know when he's in a tough situation, I know he knows how to box and he knows how to fight.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it. The problem is he didn't want to do that because here's the thing: when you know you could do it but you don't want to, it's that you understand the risk factor. Meaning, if I keep doing this, eventually it's not going to work out my way, and I can't rank a guy like that over a guy who says, "Well, that's just part of the job." Manny Pacquiao, I just can't rank a guy over him when the other guy's like more willing to do it in every fight. Fight.
It's not even a discussion. He cleared 11 divisions and fucking out of the 18 in boxing, won belts in 8. Lineal in 4 or 5, multiple time lineal in some divisions. Literally beat the so-called best. I mean, like, I don't know what the fuck to say here. I mean, he shattered every record that they told me that my whole life growing up makes you the number one. And ESPN won't even mention his fucking name unless he has a fight coming up.
Well, ESPN is nobody to be taken serious. Like I'm sorry to say, they're not.
Floyd Mayweather. Like, what are you talking about? Well, how about he'll beat him like he's Pacquiao? Floyd never beat anybody. He never put the beats on anybody. Oh, unless a fucking 50-year-old shop worn Arturo Gatti counts. Otherwise, get the fuck out of here.
ESPN lost its credibility, man. Lost its credibility a long time ago.
Yeah.
Dude,
Even
ESPN.
Bayless, that dude, like he tried to ride for Pac, but even he would like not. Even he was a fucking liar half the time.
Dude,
You know, like
ESPN.
just say it. Like, dude's the best. He beat him.
They're they're giving
The
me
only guys that ever beat Manny were Marquez once. He beat him 3 times, and the 2 fucking dudes early in his career. That's it.
the KOs, yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, ESPN, man, I think they're just a play on the sports world because I'm looking at the UFC, right? And I'm genuinely like, the more I look at like the way that they're like sponsoring the fighters, like the current layout of like who's the top dogs, I don't know, man. Like something's just not right. Like UFC, like it's gotten better, but there's something about the promotion that's rubbing. I can't even. It's like not something that's tangible, but there's a change in the wind that I can feel, and I 100% think it's because of they signed with ESPN. Like the ESPN, yeah, I think it's
Who?
just a bad influence in MMA, like the UFC since they signed with
Oh,
them.
for sure. Because you know what that is. They're
What?
going mainstream.
Yeah,
They're going mainstream. They're trying to do a mainstream sport, and that's when. Before they were underground, and Dana and his guys had literal control over everything. So if they wanted a fair fight, you got a fair fight, a legit.
Hey,
fight. Once it becomes this big business, like billion-dollar business, you best believe fuckery's going to be involved.
yeah.
It's done. It's ruined. Like it's gone. It's gone.
a little off topic.
Company bought it. It was over already. Like you saw
Hey,
that. Everything changed. Remember, UFC used to have the label of integrity. That shit's out the window 2 years ago, dude. Gone. When I started watching it, it had no integrity. When I started, that's when it had no integrity. Whole John Jones issue and all that bullshit. They're done.
a little off topic, but I don't know if you guys saw. Tom Brady saying the media jumped the gun. He hasn't made no decision. So it goes to show you, like when they want you out of the sport or whatever, they'll fucking retire you.
Yeah, they're saying you're leaving, bro. Tom Brady's retired.
I think he should personally, like but if if a man feels like he could keep doing it, who am I to stop him, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
he should definitely retire. I mean, what's the
yeah,
point? Your sport's a fucking joke anyway.
Yeah.
yeah, it is a joke, man.
The fuck you want to be associated with that shit for? Save your body. You're gonna take the worst damage of your life as an older guy. So fuck that.
Yeah, dude, that motherfucker is so weird, man.
Yeah, he is a weirdo, man.
Yeah,
He is a
just in
weirdo.
general,
He's gotten weirder ever since the whole connection between him and Donald Trump. It's like he's been trying to separate himself. I don't know if you guys remember. He didn't want to go to the White House.
I was talking about him like kissing his all.
Well, yeah. Of course, that's like, I think that's all connected to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like he became. He's trying to identify with people that he wouldn't want to be his enemies because he knows he just doesn't want to deal with the headache, right? Because he wants to be able to play football.
Well, to be honest, like when it comes to like those like NBA, NFL, like the top guys, right? They're all a bunch of weirdos. Like I someone asked me this on the second Ren server, and I went like pretty deep into like, like it was kind of like some conspiracy stuff. I don't know if you saw it, recognized, but we went pretty deep. Well, I did. Dude, all of these like top athlete dudes, they're weirdos, sick. It's all sorts.
We got into that deep the other night, man. Every one of them. If you're, put it this way, it's just like this. If you're super famous in the mainstream media, you're into some fuck shit.
Oh yeah.
Anthony, are
You're
you on the
not
second?
getting, dude. They're not going to just push some guy and make him a fucking $30 million if you're not doing something for them or
Yeah.
something. There's something there. Like you got to realize that.
Ant, are you
They're
on the
not just
second?
picking some random. Hey, we're going to make you $30 million this year. Nah, bro.
Because it's pretty
Not how this
simple,
shit
and you
works.
know what it is.
Find me one.
In order
So
for
hold
me
on,
to
real quick.
give
Find me
you,
one person in the mainstream of any side, anything, who has sincere fucking integrity. One. Like that'll call out like anyone, anytime. I swear to God, when people like this is my generation, but we had people that actually spoke out against anything. Like when Pac and Pun died, like I swear there was no more people that actually told the truth. It was done. It was over there. I remember when Tupac died, I was like, who's going to speak out? And no one ever showed up. It was just gone. No one everyone's great. We all get along. I love him. He loves me. We love everything. Was just there's no more. No one fights anymore. You know, you might have these young rappers or something going at it, but that dude, it's not the same. They're not mainstream. They're not. It's nothing. You know, it's nothing. If you're not on like Black Twitter, you don't even know about this shit.
yep.
And are you on the second?
Calling fucking out like all them people gay and they're calling everyone out. No qualms about it. You know, Big Pun was doing the same, but they fucking, you know, whatever. You die, but no one takes your place. It's like
What's that guy? What was that? That Houston? That guy from Houston?
You see another one, another
Yeah,
one.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
forgot about
was
him. They
telling
all died right in that little
people didn't
stand,
like him
and
because
it was over.
he was telling it like it is, right? He was just
Yeah.
like, hey man, there's a lot of gay stuff going on.
Yeah.
He's like,
Ant,
your famous rapper sucks dick. Your favorite rapper's gay.
Yeah, he said that.
Are you on second run, Ant? Are you on that, dude? Like, I wish I could repeat it because it can't be said on YouTube. But it was pretty deep because we got
about what?
And it was actually like so you know Lady Gaga, right? Have you ever seen those pictures of her like eating that, like they were at like some party?
Yes.
And it's the
cake body cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It started with that, and then I actually broke
Jay-Z was there too.
I don't remember when she.
Hugh Jackman, but
Who?
I was Hugh Jackman, the Wolverine dude.
See? Dude, no one's getting to that top spot if you're not in the clique. It's a clique.
But I broke down the girl that was right next to Lady Gaga, right? It was like Marianne Aber. Yeah, and I was like showing her with Jay-Z and other stuff, and like, because the dude asked me, like, he showed me a video about like handlers and like the NBA or music industry. I was like, yeah, most of this stuff is like the ultra stuff, you know, MK. And then I also brought up that she met up with like a Rothschild, right? It was Jacob Rothschild, and then they were posing in front of a portrait that was called Satan Summoning His Legions. That was the portrait that they both posed in front of. Like, it's such a fucking joke, man.
I mean, look, there's a reason no one speaks out against anything, because they know if you do, you're done.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm sure Bob Arum has sat in front of that fucking portrait.
Yeah.
And fucking Al. Al's a sick dude too.
Fuck yeah.
He was right in there with all those like you know, Bob Arum, he's been a boxing man all his life. Al Heyman, he was in the music industry, and you know how messed up that is. Al Heyman is
fleeced a ton of artists. I mean, dude, there was a literal tape floating around of him giving dome. I mean, this was well reported. No one ever said it wasn't true. He bought the tape back as that's what was reported. He was being blackmailed. This was by like major this was known. But hey,
was it a dude or like
them all you want?
But that's what they do. What these people, what they do is they blackmail them, and the blackmail is like it's just like for them, it's just like, look, this is just in case, right? Just in case you decide you want to, and you got a lot of influence, or you got a lot of people that know you, right? Even if they don't like you, they know who you are. We can't risk that you go renegade one day. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Yeah. If you do, we
you
got
know
something
all
on
this
you.
shit
You know?
about us.
Yeah.
How can we trust you? It's like being in a mob, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? We got to have something to hang over your head too. It's that simple. You're not going to get in the clique, in the mob, basically. A different type of mob, but it's a mob.
Yep. Look at Fat Joe. Fat Joe used to talk about the gay mafia, right?
Yep.
Remember that shit?
Never see, dude. I know.
He's weirder than ever today. He's
I know.
weirder than
He
ever
straight
today.
called it out point blank, dude. Hip hop is run by the gay mafia. Said it straight up. What happened?
Yep. And Fat Joe was a stand-up dude. People were
Yep.
saying back in the days,
Yep.
they were like,
He was one of my
from
favorites.
both coasts,
One of
from
my
both
favorites.
East Coast and West Coast. I'm surprised how many dudes from the West Coast love Fat Joe. They say,
Respected
"Yo,
him.
he's a real dude. I
Yep.
like him." You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
He's the only dude that stood up to Suge at that fucking one conference too.
Yeah.
I fucking
yeah.
love that dude.
Yeah.
You know what's
Pun,
sad though,
Pun
right?
kept him real. Pun kept him from selling out.
You know what's sad though,
He
right?
kept that. He kept that going for a while. But dude, then he had this. Is what happened, bro? Remember they hit him, put him in prison for 4 months, federal prison over the IRS shit.
Yep.
He needed to regain his life, and then had to sell out to do it. It's like they literally sicked the FBI on him, or the IRS on him to get him to flip.
They always do that, man.
Children are going back to the
100%.
ghetto.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have all this beef, and your kids are going to be back in the hood where you have the beef. If that's what you're ready for, you can do that or side with us. Your choice.
Well, you know what's the worst part about all of this, right? It's like these people, like they've been through so much struggle to tell the truth, and then once they basically just do it, right? They got the fucking rappers with painted nails nowadays, right? No one cares. Like seriously, like the general population, like they act like nothing happened, and that they're still like these hard dudes. Like
Yeah.
what? You got motherfuckers in dresses and painted nails, and like they're saying, oh, they're killers, man. Fuck no, they're not.
They're just trying to make the alpha male man to be like this. What's this pansexual, this non-binary kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, man?
Androgynous.
Yeah, there you go, androgynous. Like not, he's not a man or a woman.
Yeah, they're not catching bodies anymore. They're catching something else in their fucking mouth.
Yeah.
It's a disgrace, man. Like that, honestly, it's not even like the big wigs, you know. It's like it's this with everything with boxing and it's the fans, the population. They just don't give a shit. They have now fully bought into the gaslighting, the lies. They don't care. You know, when a robbery happens, they like he beat his ass. You know, like he won 7-5. Come on, guys.
Like we said,
come on.
if they would have robbed Usyk, you'd have 50 people on here saying AJ won.
AJ 7-5, clear as day. That's
How
what they
can't you
would've
see
said.
it? The judges even agreed. What are you talking about? He outboxed him. He moved the jab the whole night.
You're
Usyk,
living in an
right, he
alternate
won,
reality.
clearly.
You're living in an alternate reality. Usyk got his ass beat. That's the type of shit. And dude, honestly, I hate to say it, but the more I think about that rematch, right? Literally, AJ, all he has to do, right? If he's gonna change his style and he's slightly better and doesn't get stopped, he's gonna win. Because listen, he got dominated, and he got 7-5.
Yeah.
On one of the cards. He does if he wins 3 rounds instead of like 1 or 2 in the first fight. If he wins 3 or 4, he wins.
Yeah,
I agree. He's just got to make the fight. He's just got to make the fight a little bit more competitive.
Closer. Yeah, slightly closer. Not even. It could still be like a full blown washout, but just not as bad. They'll rob his ass.
Yeah, for sure, Hawker Mustang. Something wrong with that. I think he'd been turned out a long time ago, to be honest.
but even they made Will Smith like get humiliated on national TV.
I know,
Yeah,
man.
they tortured them. So he must have pissed someone off. He must have like
I
slept
don't
with
really
one of
think
these
he did.
producers.
The one I know what he did. Remember when the gay guy kissed him and he smacked him? He said, "Hey,
Yeah.
that's it,
Holy
buddy.
shit.
Oh,
That's it."
I was
And that
thinking
was
like maybe
viral.
I was
They
thinking
were
like
all
maybe
upset about that.
maybe he slept with one of the producers like daughters or something, but that makes more sense.
But if you think about it, that guy violated Will Smith. Like dude, you don't. What the fuck? You just go up to him and you don't go up to anybody, not even a girl, and just kiss her. You don't
No,
know
yeah,
her.
that's straight up.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you don't fuck with the gay mafia, so you
No, you
just sort of
don't.
have to deal with it, sadly.
They are the most powerful people in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Why you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
masculinity is being erased by the mainstream media?
Well,
Who
there's
do you
one
think
mafia
is in
that's
control
stronger,
of that
but
agenda?
yeah, there's one mafia that's stronger, but they're supported, so they're basically the same. I'm glad that aspect hasn't infiltrated boxing. I'll be honest. Like, it's there, but it's not that bad. Boxing is still overall, like, manly. Even if these fucking dudes want to be bad bitches. Like,
Yeah.
And that's what it is, bad bitches.
yeah. I heard someone say, I think it was actually you, Ant. I was like, dude, that's so fucking
that's
true. Like,
true. He had
Yeah,
to
I
be
was on
just saying
talking about that. How,
yeah.
yeah.
these dudes want to be bad bitches now.
I'm
It's
just
like
watching this shit online, and they're like doing more with their hair than the women, wearing more accessories and jewelry than the women, carrying bags tighter for their clothes are more expensive and fancier than the women's, more expensive shoes than the
They're
women.
wearing fucking
They
fur
are the
coats.
bad bitches. Men are
Yeah.
trying. These dudes in the media anyway. Men in the media are trying to be bad bitches.
Yeah, they're in
And
like,
chicks are just being like wearing jeans and a halter top or some shit.
or they're like they're just wearing less in general. Like they'll put like some fucking nipple caps on them and then pop outside. These fucking
Yeah.
like Hollywood hoes, man. They ain't be wearing shit. But the dudes, they'll be in like some rose tinted shades. They'll be in a fur coat. They'll have some fucking like high heels, basically painted
Yep.
nails. They'll have like rainbow fucking dreads on or fucking braids on. They'll have some
Dude,
like
men are going to salons.
earrings. Yeah.
Women used to be the ones wearing $400 shoes and shit, like pumps and all that shit. Remember? Like I
Yeah.
get, spending buying a pair of Jordans for like $200 or something. But when you're buying fucking, I won't spend anything more than that really. Most I ever spent was like $220. I'll buy them like I ain't buying shit off the internet. I'll buy it retail. I'm not fucking buying. You buy some shoes and then resell. If I can't get them at the store, then I don't want them. It's that simple. Like I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to like be like, hey, you gotta please fuck me because I'm showing you I have a bunch of money. Meanwhile, you probably don't have any.
Yeah.
Puffy's the one that brought in that bad bitch. Fucking he to me,
Same.
he's the guy that really started that.
But it's true though, man. They are bad bitches, or like they're trying to be. They aren't, but they are trying to be.
Yeah.
Someone talked about the T and LGBTs coming into boxing. First of all, I don't care because it's women's sports, but just they shouldn't be beating up women. The only solution is completely eliminating women's sports and just having everyone fight each other. And then you'll quickly resort that issue because the T's won't last. And then you won't have, it'll just be what it is. That's literally the only solution. Because these liberal women, they're not going to stand up. So,
No.
yeah.
Yeah,
They'll just get their ass beat and say,
dude, the so-called mainstream feminist movement is owned by, who?
Yeah, the feminist movement was just there to fuck up relations between men and women. That's all.
yeah.
To kill
I
the
learned a stat.
to kill the nucleus family.
Yeah, dude, I learned a stat that like for most of like US history until like a few decades ago, young men were more liberal than young women. It was insane. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
But it's true. Like young women used to be more conservative and like do the traditional lifestyle than young men. It's like, bro, they got ruined like so bad because now the thing is flipped. But it's not like men became more traditional. That's not what happened. It's like it was feminism that really like screwed it over.
Look, because of like anybody else,
bad.
because of my work. Sometimes I have to interact with women, dude. The attitude, and I'm a cool person. I won't even, especially if I'm not right there, in front of you. If I'm just trying to get some information, lady. Like, what the fuck? Maybe you shouldn't be in the workforce. Like, you just have such a negative attitude, And look,
Mhm.
there's some great girls that I've met that are in bad situations, and they go getters too. Shoot, I've hired girls that to work for us that that basically they're a single mom. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And they have the nicest attitude. But the majority of these girls, man, that live the feminist, women power over men. The majority of these girls, man, they're miserable chicks. Because it's just not natural for them. It's not
I
natural
think
at
No, they
all.
most
don't want to have
people.
to get up every day and go to work or focus on the bills, earning the money. Like, just act, dude. It's just not their
Yeah,
life. They would, and they would much rather have a man. To do
yeah.
this. We know this. We know
Yeah,
this.
They gaslit them, like they've been gaslit their whole life, and then eventually they got to a point where they were able to gaslight themselves,
Yeah.
yep.
and they delude themselves into thinking that this is how things should be, but then like they're miserable now. Because like let's be real here, men, they're not happy either. You look at the suicide rates, they're killing
But nobody
themselves in
cares about
mass.
that, right? The media would never speak on that.
Of course,
Men kill themselves all the time
but
because life has dealt them a bad blow, or they just can't
mhm,
cope. Whatever the deal is, right?
Been
Nobody
running
gives a fuck
around as
about
being
him.
accepted, so
Yeah,
family
nobody
units
cares
are
about
being
him.
eh,
destructed, destroyed.
no
The
one's
adults are
no
upset.
one's
Either
happy.
one of them's uh, all depressed, whatever. It's a fucked up world,
There
man.
was a kid in North
Yeah.
Carolina. It's a black dude, light skinned black dude with a Spanish last name. Forget his name, man. He got murked by the cops. But what it turned out to be, it was suicide by cop. The reason why he did that, and they were trying, they were investigating what happened. Like, why did he come at the cops like that?
Mm-hmm.
The guy didn't have a criminal record or anything like that. Well, he was being fucking tortured by the baby moms taking his kids away from him.
I remember this now.
And he just lost his shit. He just said, man, fuck this shit.
Yep.
You know?
Some people don't really love their kids. They really don't. They don't have like that actual connection of like, I'll die for my kid. They just really don't. I've seen it. But like I do, like if someone took my son away right now, like even if it's like, dude, I'd go crazy. That's
Yeah.
all I think about. So like I would go fucking nuts. Like I have that connection. And it can't happen. I would go bonkers. And I
Yep.
can see it, especially when some judge or something is just like, nah, you're not seeing them. See them once a month or for 2 hours or some crazy shit. Because if the chick keeps fighting in court, like I went through this already, I fucking made sure I won. I wasn't playing at all because I couldn't deal with it. Like I couldn't handle it. Like she was about to move to Ohio and take him. I was like, ha ha, you're out your mind. Like, you'll die before that shit happens, bro. Like straight up. Oh, I'm not kidding. I mean, if if there's a way I could have did it, I would have done that because I wasn't playing. It just wasn't happening. I would have rather my parents raise them. Honestly, I just wanted to make sure he would be taken fucking care of. Look, I know these women will be bringing in new dudes into his life, different people leaving him in houses to watch him for a little while. I see that all the time. Dude, you ain't put a bunch of fucking strangers around my kid. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Nah,
They don't think about they don't think about that stuff. They just think about living their life because the
selves.
media has taught them that it's schooling, it's TV, they've taught these women that whatever they do, they're not responsible. Don't worry about it. It's all good. You could destroy a man's life. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
And
because
another
it's
thing
not really
too, like
destroying his life. It's
another thing too, like when you bring in like it's a completely different dynamic from like the father bringing in like a new girl into a life of a child and the
And I won't
mother
even like
bringing in
I
a new
follow. I
dude.
don't just say this. I follow my rules. I don't leave my
Yeah,
son anybody. I don't bring a chick around him unless I've been with talking to her, whatever, with her for a while.
right.
I mean, I don't do it. I don't do it. Most of the time I just don't bring him around, period.
But I'm just saying, like
If
the
he's
dynamic
sleeping or
is
something,
different.
okay. But that's like it. I ain't
But
playing these
but
fucking games.
but the point is, right? The dynamic is different. Like it's very more invasive when a man comes into a house
Oh
than a
yeah,
woman.
because he takes over and starts controlling everything.
Hmm.
And this ain't his